What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are from the Crypt, and this episode is going to be our top 5 albums of the year. And this year is 2025, for those of you watching 10, 15, 20 years in the future from now. Yeah, there's been a lot of really good albums this year, guys. It's been an absolute bloodbath trying to get into my top 5. Trust me, I waded through like a ton of albums to get my top 5 this year, and it was probably the hardest year that I have had personally since we've been doing these lists. Derek and Toby, we did the first one in 2022 or 2021.
It was 2021.
2021, yeah. So since 2021,
it was on the Cosmic Pizza channel.
Yeah,
whenever we first started doing this, so it's
Spider-Man No Way Home.
It was a while ago, yeah.
Well, since then, we've done obviously all of those years. We did 2021 on, and then Derek and I have also been doing. Well, obviously we've taken a break from them. I think we've just been super fucking busy, but we'll get back to them eventually. We've been doing the 2000s, 2010s, and so forth. So we have done a lot of these top 5 lists, and I'm telling you right now, this one has probably been the hardest for me. And that's saying something, because 2021 was pretty rough. 2022 was pretty rough, in a good way, by the way. I'm not saying that it was hard because there wasn't, worthy opponents. It was tough because there were so many. I had to boot like 5 possible candidates for my top 5 just within this last week and a half or so. So it's been tough, and I think I finally have come up with my comprehensive list, and I know like in a month or two from now I'm probably going to end up going back to one of the ones I kicked, and I'm going to be like, man, I should have put that one in there instead, because there's just been heat coming out this year. That being said, there's been some doo-doo as well. There's been some disappointments. Don't get me wrong. We'll talk about them. I'm sure Derek's got some stuff to say about one in particular that I know we'll probably mention briefly.
Worst album title of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a new category, guys. The worst album title of all time. And you know
Wait,
what?
worst album title?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wonder if we're thinking of the same one.
Oh, the album wasn't good either.
The album was ass. The title was fucking stupid. It was disappointing because it's a band that we all like for the most part, or liked at one point or another. Yeah, pretty shit, but we'll talk about it anyway. Before we get started proper though, I do want to just go over the rules, of course, like we do every episode of this, just so everyone is clear, everyone watching knows that we do have somewhat of a criteria, and it's not because we're trying to be pompous about anything, it's just to make it more of a challenge for us, and that's more fun, to be honest. But they have to be full-length studio albums released this year. No re-releases, no demos, no EPs, no live albums, no greatest hits. They have to be full-length studio albums released this year in 2025. We do have a best EP of the year section we'll get to. We'll touch up on that briefly, just because there have been years in the past where we've been like, man, that EP was fucking lit, and it definitely needs its own place. So that being said, we'll get into that when we get into it. I know also Cody had some EPs he wanted to give some shout outs to.
I gotta elaborate. I gotta elaborate.
Yeah, but we'll get there. Anyway, so as far as the main top 5 go, they do have to be studio albums this year. That's it. That being said, obviously we've got Toby back for another round. We've got our buddy Cody
bitches
back for another round, and then yours truly, Derek, and I, who are here every time. So, yeah. Without further ado,
What
Derek,
order are we going in?
Yeah. Well,
I went last year, so
on my screen, it's like starting with me. It'd be clockwise: me, you, Cody, Toby, or it could be Toby, me, you, Cody. But it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I don't care either way.
Well, Toby's eating, so I will go ahead and start, and we'll have him go last.
Okay.
I'm done.
Oh,
We good.
All right, well then we'll start with Toby then, because technically he would be first if we're reading a book. He would be the first word on the page. So.
All right, bitches. Do we want to start with just our list, or we want to go into honorable mentions first, or how do we want to do this?
Save honorable mentions and stuff from two and one.
Yeah, we do honorable mentions between 2 and 1. However, I did want to ask, where do you want to do EP of the year? Did you want to do that?
Probably. Well, I mean, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that right now.
Okay,
I'm fine with that.
Let's do EP first then. We'll do EP first, and then we'll go through our list. Once, right after 2, we'll do our honorable mentions. Save the big suspenseful number 1s for last, obviously.
All right.
And then maybe, I don't know, fuck it, maybe between 4 and 3, we do worst album or something like that. Or did you want to do those first as well?
We could do those just between 2 and 1, like.
Oh, with the honorable mentions and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. The honorable and dishonorable mentions all between 2 and 1.
Basically.
All right. Toby, EP of the year.
My EP of the year is Fury by Face Yourself, a band that I had never even heard of before this year. I don't think they were even really around before last year. I don't know when they showed up, but it's a female-fronted death metal or deathcore death metal band. And this chick has some of the nastiest vocals I've ever heard in my entire life. This EP is phenomenal. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Fury by Face Yourself. I think I did actually listen to that. I did listen.
It slaps.
It is pretty hard, yeah. No, I like it.
You know it slaps if it beat out fucking Karak Angren put out an EP this year, and that wasn't my EP of the year, so you know it's got to be good.
No, I feel you. That's funny you mention, because my EP of the year is also not Karak Angren. It's if I can find it, hold on.
Unprepared.
Well, this is my confusing one, because Spotify lists it as an album. Literally everywhere else, it is an EP. But Death Mask 3 by Darko US was my EP of the year, because I was going to have it probably in my top 5, but just to be fair, I wanted it to be fair across the board, so I was like, you know what, it's listed as an EP everywhere else, it is under 30 minutes, so fuck it, I'll just have it as my EP of the year, because it's worthy of that spot. Second, I probably would have gone Karak Angren, but I enjoyed this EP / album, whatever the fuck you want to call it, a lot. I don't know, just it hit some emotional chords for me. It hit home quite a bit on multiple occasions throughout the very short runtime, and yeah, I will definitely have this being played over and over again for a long time. So yeah, Death Mask 3 by Darko US.
We love Darko.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. All right, Derek, what you got?
Okay. All right, I'll be honest with you. I didn't really check out too many EPs this year because I just didn't listen to as much music as years previously, because my car ride to school was basically notes. But if I'm picking one, it's probably going to be Daughtry again, Shock to the System Part 2. I didn't think it hit the highs of Part 1 released last year. But Part 2 is still continuing this heavy streak of Daughtry, which I'm always down for. Because, I mean, man's got a voice and a half, and when it's heavy, it's really fucking good. So, yeah, Daughtry, Shock to the System, Part 2.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to listen to it, but I definitely need to, because I am also quite a fan of Daughtry. At least his earlier stuff, when he first came out, I was always pretty into his stuff, but I need to go back and listen to this.
He does have a hell of a voice.
It is heavier than anything he has put out, like both EPs that he put out. So it's, oh God, I love it. It's awesome.
Daughtry is single-handedly the reason I stopped watching American Idol. Like, we used to watch it as like a family thing, you know, every whatever day it came out, Monday or Sunday or whatever the fuck it was. And when he got voted off of the show, I was like, okay, well, this show is fucking stupid and rigged, so I'm literally never watching this again. And I haven't. Because it's fucking stupid. It doesn't make any sense. There's some people on there with like the stupidest, like most talented vocal ranges you could possibly have, and they get voted off like mid-season, and I'm like, is this not a fucking singing competition? Like, isn't that the point? But whatever. Anyway, I digress. Cody, what you got?
All right. EP of the year, and just to be truthful, had it been counted as an album, it probably would have been like number one on my spot or on my list, honestly, is the dual EP release from a Minra. It's called Daytorn / With Fang and Claw. It's 40 minutes of, oh my God, just the most like abysmal.
Hey, hold on. Can you spell that band name?
AMENRA.
Oh, okay, I see. I'm pulling up the album artwork, and I'm putting it up on the screen. That's why I'm doing that. But
no worries. But it's just, this was a very, very emotional and very, very, very powerful release. The magnitude of sound that they play, like, there's a lot of riffs on here that are just crushing, and not in like a death metal way. This is very outside the boundaries of like what I would consider conventional in the doom metal world. It is not something like oh God, I don't know. It's definitely not a Candlemass type album. But it's just, it came out when Virginia got record snowfall, and I remember listening to the first song of With Fang and Claw, which I consider like first in just kind of the chronology of the songs. The snowfall and the alcohol like fused together. It was just wonderful, and like there are moments on this album that really make you contemplate all the world around you. There's parts on this that on this like release, especially the third song, Eden. That is probably like one of the greatest songs I have heard from metal in a long, long time. And it's really odd because upon first listen, I didn't think a whole lot of it because it is long. It is like 15 minutes long, and it is this very, very, very drawn out build up, and it's slow, and it's like a heartbeat, and slowly, bass comes in, and it's gentle and it's quiet, very subtle, and you start getting these, nice, strong, clean sounding picking, and it just builds up and builds up until the end around like the last 5 minutes. It is just a downpour of fucking depression. And not even in like a silly emo way, but in this colossal way where you feel like all of your DNA is melting before your very eyes. And it's just, holy crap, it floored me. And you have the final song, which is also kind of a build-up, but in a very different sense. It feels more like you're in the woods surrounded by like animal bones and skulls, and there's stakes in the ground, and you're walking towards providing an offering to a great cosmic force, and the closer you get, the more the more calamity it brings to your mind. So it was a very immense release, and even though it's doom metal, it's going to be a bit slow. It's extremely emotional. It's like watching a goose laid across a table in a dark room with a piano, and you watch the goose get its head chopped off while the piano is subtly playing some Chopin or Tchaikovsky in the background. It's elegant, but it's harsh. It is strong. The actual riffing that comes into this is colossal. The first song in fact, like the power of these lyrics, the first song is basically about a family that has to convene together because the eldest of their family is dying. And it talks about like that, breaking bread with your family and caring together. So there's a lot of power behind it. There's a lot of remorse, a lot of sadness, a very, 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 very wintry set of music. Like, it absolutely was stunning. I have not been blown away by an album in a long time, and whether you're a doom metal fan or not, this should satiate any kind of like sad feelings you have. Like, fuck, I don't even have good words for it. I didn't even type this one out because I wanted it to be genuine and real, because that's just how much I respected the release. It really did like redefine what it means to make sad music, in my opinion.
Hell yeah. Nice. Yeah, no, I listened to it. I mean, as far as doom metal goes, I enjoyed it. I didn't obviously have it in the same regard as you did, but I'm just also not a giant doom metal fan. That's all it broke down to, you know. But yeah, no, it was good. It was solid. All right. That covers EP of the year. So let's go ahead and get into our lists proper with number 5. Toby.
I'm fucking having the same issue that I was having last year, where I have to follow Cody, and Cody is just far more articulate and intelligent and prettier and sexier and has a much larger dick than me.
No, I actually have.
We all do.
Damn. Okay. Anyway,
It's okay if I say it, but not if you say it.
okay. You know what? I'm just gonna roll with it.
Just roll, dude.
Kicking off my list at number 5 is a black metal album, but it's not the black metal album that you probably think it is, because it threw me for a loop. It is Lonely People with Power by the absolute black metal powerhouse, Death Heaven.
Yes, sir.
Dude, I don't really know a whole lot of Death Heaven. I've heard a few of their songs before. I don't know what compelled me to listen to this album like a couple weeks ago. But holy shit, dude, this album is like just the embodiment of foreboding. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It feels like, I know we use the word heavy to describe heavy metal a lot, but it's got like a different context here. Like, this album is like physically heavy. It just, I don't know, man. It's just so fucking, it's so like beautiful in the weirdest kind of way. In the way that only a black metal album can be.
You said
that's all I got.
Lonely People with Power, right? Was the name of that one?
Lonely People with Power, yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure I grabbed the right artwork.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, dude. That Death Heaven is always like every album they've put out is a icon of black metal. Like New Bermuda was my introduction to them, and to this day that mess floors the crap out of me. I agree with you, my friend. Good choice.
It also, like, I know black metal and like as a genre is really hard for a lot of people to get into, but this is like the most accessible black metal that I've ever heard, in my opinion, at least. It just
more accessible than Crypt Angren.
Yes.
Really?
Carrick Angren is very like
theatrical and easy to listen to.
They're very theatrical, but they're also very like grotesque and harsh in their lyrical content, which I guess this album is too. But I think it breaks up the black metalness enough that like throughout the album that it just, you never get bored of it. It's never just droning. And even the heavier bits, like the actual black metal-esque shit, some of the riffs in this album are insane. Like, it's It almost reminded me of like old Gojira at times. Good shit.
I'll have to go and peep it.
Definitely recommend. It's good.
I've heard
really
I've heard the band before, but I have not. I don't think I've ever like actually sat down and listened to any of them. Okay,
But yeah,
awesome.
that's my number 5.
Lonely
Keep it rolling.
with Power by Deaf Heaven. I'll add that one to my list. But all right, number 5. My number 5 was released on June 13th, 2025. And it's a progressive / tech death metal band by the name of Fallujah. The album is Xenotaph. I listened to the absolute fuck out of this album, dude. And I've liked Fallujah for a while, but and I don't know if I'm a fucking filthy, dirty poser for saying this or not, but Dreamless is my favorite Fallujah album, and the sound that they've captured on that album was like my favorite Fallujah sound that they've had. And I don't know, maybe that's generic, maybe I'm not like the biggest Fallujah fan out there, but after that album, it didn't seem like they were ever going back to that sound, and I was pretty bummed about it. It was upsetting, and yeah, I had listened to a couple albums, you know, from them since, or the last album before this one, or I don't know. I don't remember how many there were, but I listened to them that really weren't what I liked about Fallujah, so I just like shrugged them off. So this year, it's by sheer chance that I even gave this one a shot, because I was kind of like losing hope for Fallujah being in my top 5 ever again, you know. But I was like, fuck it. Let me go ahead and give it a go. I'm gonna go ahead and try it out. Let's just see what we got, you know. And boy, oh boy, am I glad I did, because like it kind of captures that sound that Dreamless had, but in an evolution type of progress. You know, it like evolved the sound enough to make it feel fresh, but also still feels like it's from that era of Fallujah. And yeah, Kaleidoscopic Waves is a fucking phenomenal song. Step through the portal and breathe, another one that's just like it just gives you this weird atmosphere, like you're fucking floating through space, but you're kind of like running away from some cosmic entity that's chasing you through space, but you can't get any momentum because there's no gravity, so you're just like letting the cosmos float you as fast as it can through space, trying to get away from this thing that's chasing you. But you also feel kind of at peace with all of the things that's happening around you at the same time. So yeah, it definitely feels like stepping through a portal and breathing. Yeah, but number 5, Xenotaph by Fallujah.
I didn't listen to that one. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Dude,
I listened to it.
You gotta peep it.
I like the implementation of clean vocals. I think it adds a very, very big depth, a very nice dynamic.
There's
it really expands.
There's a song on Dreamless that has some cleans in it, and it's one of my favorite parts of Dreamless, and it just sucked because like it was so cool, but it was like it fit within that album, you know, it fit there, and it was just a small little pocket of clean vocals, but it was one of my favorite moments on the whole album. So I was hoping that eventually we would get an album that added a little bit more of that, and here it is, dude. They fucking did it, and it was just, it's so cool. The fuck is the name of that song? Wind for Wings or something like that, off of Dreamless. Check that out. It's off of Dreamless, and it's got like just a little tiny, it's like a little bridge with cleans in it, and then it goes right back into the brutality, you know. But yeah, no, I agree, adding more clean vocals on this one was just like, it was just like the next step from that, and I love every second of it. But anyway, Derek, what you got for number 5?
Number 5 released March 21st of this year, and I'll be honest, I put this one off. I didn't listen to it until probably about 2 weeks ago. But it is What Remains by Pop Evil. Now, Pop Evil is a band I'm not very big into, even though Skeletons, their last release, was my number 1 for 2023. Because 2023 was kind of an odd year. It was very I don't know how to describe it. 2023 was a weird one.
Was that the year that like nothing came out? Like just music was just dog shit that year?
Man, I really wish I could have been on that video with y'all because I so wholeheartedly disagree with y'all. 2023 had some fucking beast, like bestial releases, dude. Y'all just, I'm not trying to diss y'all or nothing, but I guess in my realm there was just that 2023 had a lot to offer between like Nightmare and Fawn Limbs and Rannoch. Like there was a lot of really good music in 2023, but very harsh, and that's probably why it was so inaccessible, I guess.
Well, compared to 2021, which, you know, had Silver Scream 2 and Trivium's in the Court of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And I think 2022 was my favorite year thus far out of all of the years we had, because even going back through it, I still can't pick a number one because there are 5 solid albums that could be number one depending on day of the week. 2023 was just a step. Like wasn't as good as the 2 before it. And I would say last year was better than that. But I even said for Skeletons when we talked about that would not have been my number one in any other year. And I feel this album, while heavier, was better than Skeletons as a whole, because there were a couple songs that were like, whatever. This was a more consistent effort, and it's better than my number one in 2023, and it's number 5 this year because we had some fucking heat this year.
Yeah, we did.
I would definitely recommend Death Walk. What Remains, I think, was one of the lead singles off of the album. I really dig the shit out of that. And then Wishful Thinking, and I think a Bullet That Missed. Just all heat, all solid heat, but I'm gonna have to actually actively put Pop Evil like on my radar, because I know from years back like it wasn't anything to brag about, but the last 2 albums they put out were actually legitimately solid. So number 5, Pop Evil, What Remains.
Yeah, I never got super into Pop Evil either. There's been a couple of singles that they put out just over the last several years that I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucking solid, but I just for whatever reason never went back to like fully listen to anything, you know. But
yeah,
no, I agree.
Like I think I was on board for the first 2 albums, but then I was like, it's whatever, and then didn't care about anything until probably Skeletons, and I was like, oh shit, they're actually legit.
Well, the fucking album artwork for this one's sick as fuck too. What Remains by Pop Evil.
You gotta look it up.
Yeah, the album artwork's sick as fuck. But anyway, awesome. Yeah, What Remains, Pop Evil, number 5. Derek, all right, what you got, Cody, number 5?
My number 5 for this year is going to be Observance by Primitive Man. Some more doom metal really pulled through this year, but holy crap, this is like one of the heaviest things, and I don't mean heavy and just like breakdowns type stuff. I'm saying just the raw level of noise and like distortion without, and I mean that in like the cleanest of ways. This like, I didn't think you could take something so colossal sounding and so immense and dark and like elaborate on it and refine it. Like, you know, their past releases, you know, for the most part had pretty decent production, but you know, like I remember their album before this one, Immersion, was pretty muddy in its production overall, which worked for the sound, but I think adding a refined approach to it and actually focusing on the clarity of the riffs instead of relying just on the noise of, you know, lower quality amps and poor production, this time they really bolstered through. Not only did they refine the sound and elaborate on it, but this album is an hour long, and it is, for a doom metal album, extremely claustrophobic. There are very few points in this where you are like allowed to breathe, and you know, the times you are allowed to breathe, it's blasting like raw ambient noise as interludes into your head. you have tracks like Transactional, which is, this 14-minute long creature that has probably the most, probably the best leads on the album. Especially the kind of, I guess you could call it, melodies on this. Pretty prominent on that. You have tracks like Social Contract, where 5 minutes of the song, it is this clunk, 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 and it builds upon that. And tracks like this really showcase that clarity, because this album is the first one where the bass is not only entirely hearable and like crisp and clean, but the effort put by their bassist is like a cut above on this. He really, like, you can really hear the effort and the years that it probably took to write all this. It is a strong pedigree to it. A good way of thinking about what it feels like, if you were to listen to Social Contract, the image that comes to my mind is you have been abducted, you have a bag over your head, you are being dragged into a shed, and you are left there to be eaten by rats. That is basically the kind of vibe you can get from this
Tuesday night.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like, I figured it was going to be good because I'm a very big Primitive Man fan, and they definitely delivered. This is top of the line. If you're just looking for something to make you feel miserable and angry, and
Toby will just go to work.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just go to Walmart.
Well, this doesn't feel like Walmart. I mean, it makes you feel abysmal. It makes you feel abysmal in the best way, because it's just the riffing. I think of like human
this
heads.
feel like Walmart killed me, dude.
That's awesome. Y'all are awful.
The fucking album artwork for it is fucking sick. I'm looking at it right now. It's just disgusting, but also really
like
cool.
that.
Very decrepit.
But another element about it that I was not expecting from this, which is why I think I hold it in such a high regard, is this album really drew out my affinity towards the cosmos. There's this otherworldliness to a lot of the riffs. There are these, because it's just a trio. It's just a bassist, guitarist, and drummer. And I talked about the bassist upping his game, but their guitarist who does the vocals, he really stepped up his game. The riffing on this is extremely unique. It is very individual. It is very solidified, especially for a dense doom metal album, as dense as this one is. This one, another recommendation in the doom metal world. This is really good. It appeals to me. It's going to appeal to me for a long time. This is something I'll be able to revisit many times. The gloom in this album is harsh, and it is the perfect kind of harsh to have. So, number 5, Observance by Primitive Man.
Sweet. Nice.
I like Primitive Man quite a bit. I don't think I listened to their new album. I'm gonna have to check it out.
I recommend it, my friend. It is a cut above. Another great release. I'm glad that they are kicking it.
Hell yeah.
All right. My number 4. Give me a second. I gotta find it. There it is. My number 4 is Cursed by Paleface Swiss. A band that I liked before, but I feel like this new album is the best they've ever sounded. They really fucking nailed down their sound in this album.
Agreed.
It's just aggressive, angry, fucking in your face. What Slipknot was 20 years ago, that raw fucking in your face, pissed off, smashing your face into the glass kind of fucking mad. Paleface nails it down bar none. I cannot think of an angrier band right now than Paleface Swiss. And like, it's not just consistent, heavy, like it doesn't all just mix together after a while. Like they switch it up at some points. There's like, I think the song is called Enough, where it starts with like almost like a Suicide Boys-y kind of like rap thing, and then it comes in and punches you in the face again.
Naturally.
But the standout track on this fucking album, and anybody that's listened to it knows what I'm about to say, Rivers of Sorrow, is just a heartbreaking ass song. It's the last song on the album, and it is such a fucking massive departure from Paleface's usual sound and the sound that you've heard for the previous like 20-30 minutes of this album. It comes out of nowhere, and it's just like nobody expected this guy to put like actual heartbreak into this album, and it's so good. Like it's got like a fucking like an Alice in Chains kind of vibe to it, and it's just the most, it like that song alone has been on repeat in my car like since it dropped. It's such a good fucking song. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It slaps. This whole album slaps. The only problem that I have with this album is the same problem that I had with Exhibition of Prowess by Kublai Khan. It's too fucking short. This album's only like 25 minutes long. If they had like thrown in like 2 or 3 more songs, mint. Perfect. It probably would have gone up on my list. But as it stands, Cursed by Paleface is sitting at my number 4 spot.
Yeah, I agree. It was a fucking beggar. And there are a lot of, like, very fucking, like, heartfelt, very emotionally taxing singles and stuff from several albums that got released this year that I wasn't expecting. There's one in particular off of an honorable mention that I'm just going to give a quick shout out to when we get to it, but I was just like, dude, this song is like fucking insane. But yours as well, the one that you just mentioned, was also like, where the fuck did this even come from? You know what I mean? But yeah, very good, very good, very good. All right, number 4. My number 4 released on October 24th, so pretty recently. It's a deathcore / metalcore ish album, and it is "You Are Safe from God Here" by the Acacia Strain.
I knew it was going to show up.
I'm surprised as fuck that hit your list. Holy shit.
When I tell you that this album right here gave me stank face immediately and held my stank face for about halfway through the album, and then turned my stank face into tears and crying and sweating and shitting my pants for the remainder of the album. Holy cow, dude. This album was a fucking emotional roller coaster, and I did not expect this from the Acacia Strain. However, I also have not listened to a ton of Acacia Strain, so maybe I'm a minority there. Maybe people did expect this. I don't know. But I will say, it fucking hit different. Whatever it was off of this album hit different. And I just, like, dude, A Call Beyond, the fucking call out at the end where he says, "Bury me vertically with my head exposed so the world can see me decompose." Dude, I was like, who the fuck hurt you, dude? What do you mean? Holy shit, dude. It's just
that is single-handedly maybe the best line of lyrics that came out in any album this year.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck, dude? Jesus. Anyway, who says that? But no, like, this album feels like, it if you listen to this album from start to finish, you can feel it slowly disintegrating in like tone and depth as it gets further into the album. And then by the time it hits Blood Loss, I believe, which is the last song, it feels like you have just been murdered and you're sitting there like bleeding out, like legit bleeding out in the cold, harsh environment or something. Like, it's just like the way that they articulate any lyrics from any of the vocalists in this song, Blood Loss, by the way, is just like, it just feels depraved. It just feels like you're helpless in the middle of a cold, harsh forest or something, bleeding out, and like there's nothing you can do about it. And I think one of the lines is even like, I think I'm bleeding out, you know, which, I mean, I don't know what bleeding out feels like, but I can imagine that kind of shock would probably make you not sure, you know, because you don't know what the fuck's going on. You're probably dazed a little bit. You're probably in shock. And I don't know why or how, but this album in particular, I feel like made me feel that way, you know? So, yeah, number 4, You Are Safe From God Here by the Acacia Strain. So fucking good, dude. So good.
Yeah, it fucks. And to touch on something you said earlier, I wasn't the biggest Acacia Strain fan, but I have like actively listened to them for a while, and this album blew me away. Like, yeah, it's like Paleface. This is the best they've ever sounded, in my opinion.
It's good, dude. And it feels, I don't know if they did it intentionally, and maybe I'm just like reading too far into it, but remember how I said like it feels like it's deteriorating throughout the course of the album, like the runtime? I don't know if they did that on purpose or if it was just coincidental, it just felt that way, but like it even feels less tight, you know, like it feels like less put together and stuff towards the end of the album as it did at the beginning. And that's not a like a knock on it by means. I mean, it feels cool. It feel like, I mean, you know, in the same way that Cody was saying feeling misery and all that stuff is cool, you know, like it's that kind of like, holy shit, like music is making me feel this way. I'm not bleeding out, but I feel like it, you know, like it feels over the course of the album's duration that they intentionally like decreased the quality of like their tightness and like I don't know, but if you haven't listened to it, do it. Like, listen to it top to bottom and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's really fucking cool. But anyway,
hell yeah.
Derek, what you got?
Just gonna sneeze. Okay, number 4, released October 24th, 2025. It is not Acacia Strain. It is.
Oh, like,
it
really?
Is Creature in the Black Night by Dayseeker. I've been a big Dayseeker fan since 2022. Tying back into when I was talking about Pop Evil, that's when Dark Sun was one of those 5 albums that could be number 1 on any given day of the week. So I did have high expectations for this album, and I knew it wouldn't hit the same emotional level that I hit with Dark Sun, just because I related to that so much, because my father had recently passed too. But this is still definitely a very solid, very good effort. I was able to actually catch these guys live in concert in August at the Rust Belt in Moline, which I do not recommend ever going in like July or August, because
I don't recommend going to the Rust Belt ever. Fuck that venue.
Dude, it was so fucking hot in there. It was ridiculous. Like, I was soaked, and then, you know, you got a 2-hour drive home. But some of the standouts on the album, I really dig the title track, Creature in the Black Night. It's got kind of like a synth wave ness to it, and it hits fucking hard once it gets into the breakdown. Crawl Back to My Coffin, sorry. Just a banger and a half. Pale Moonlight, which I'm gonna go ahead and say, I find it funny that we've had 2 songs in the same year referenced Dancing with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight, and they were both at the Rust Belt that night. So
Hell yeah.
yeah. But then what else do we got? Shapeshift was a good one. Meet the Reaper, just all around really fucking solid. Yeah, that's all I got. Number 4, Creature in the Black Night by Dayseeker.
Dayseeker's another one that I only recently got into. I think you were the one that actually introduced me to them. I had heard of them, but I'd never actually listened to them. They're fucking great. They're one of the better modern metalcore bands.
I definitely would agree with that. Their shit's powerful. Even Dark Sun is just an emotional roller coaster of a fucking ride for me, and that album can make me cry. But I refuse to let it because I'm not a bitch. This one, if everybody's gone through bad breakup or anything like that, so a lot of the stuff in here people can relate to and just be like, yeah, you know what, this fucking gets it.
Well, fuck that bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
All right, Creature in the Black Night by Dayseeker. Cody, what you got?
Number 4 for me is going to be See This Possum, I don't know how to say it, Parabellum by Hierosis. This is the band's first album. They have no other releases, and good lord, for a first album, this is female fronted.
What's the band name?
You can spell it, it's HAERESIS.
Oh, here. Oh, okay. I knew that. I have this. I have this in my my playlist.
Yo, list.
Okay.
Yeah, this female fronted black metal. Good lord, from the moment it begins, it has this small little bit of ambient going on, and then it kicks off with just the harshest, ugliest, visceral screech I have heard. Not ever, but in a minute. The first song alone, you feel it must be what it feels like to go to hell, but before you reach the last layer of hell, you get sent back into your body because you got resuscitated or some shit like that. That's what the first song alone feels like. It is so charging, so immense, so fast, and it ends off with this the vocalist singing, and she's not even saying words, but she's just doing this melodic humming of sorts, and start to finish, it blasts through. It gives me the same vibes that House of the Black Gymnast by Ackless last year gave me. You can look at the album artwork. This album does feel like warfare. It really does feel like you're grabbing a dove midair and just wringing its fucking neck and its body, and you can feel its bones breaking in your hand. It is very swallowing, very clearly produced. But it is red and black to the max, dude. It is evil. It is her vocals throughout the entire thing are just this, like I said, visceral fucking screech, and the atmosphere of it is just so dark, and it hits in my speaker at home, my nice speaker. I enjoyed this a lot, and I was not. It was on Bandcamp one day, and I was on Bandcamp, and I was like, "Gosh, look at that artwork!" And
yeah, the artwork's
yeah, it's
crucified dove bleeding out of its wings and shit.
Yeah, this mess is rough. It's brutal. I don't have as much to say about it just because the preceding albums after this one, I actually sat down and wrote about them. But this one, for all intents and purposes, this is really good. If you're in the mood for some fast, curtains falling on the stage, black metal. This is right up your alley. Very recommended. Yeah, it's probably about as much as I got for it.
Yeah, I also listened to this one per your recommendation, and yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit as well.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Some solid black metal for sure.
See, this is my favorite part about having Cody on here, is like he listens to such drastically different music than me, and like 90% of the time when Cody introduces me to some shit, it fucks. So like, I know I'm late because this is like the top 5 albums of the year, but like, I'm still finding new music. I love it.
Appreciate that, my friend.
It's good stuff.
All right.
What you got?
We're on number 3.
Number 3.
Okay. I was just talking about discovering new music, but this one is not by any means a new band. In fact, it is coming from the godfathers of deathcore, Hymns in Dissonance by Whitechapel.
Oh, word.
An album that I was in the minority on for a long time when it came out. I was not impressed because their last 2 albums, The Valley and Kin, like as a whole were not received very well, I don't think, because they switched up and started doing some clean vocals and they switched up their sound a little bit. I love it. I think those 2 albums are some of the best music that they have ever put out.
I'm in the minority boat with you on that one, buddy.
Hymns in Dissonance is a return to form. It is very, very much old Whitechapel, old, heavy, aggressive, mean fucking Whitechapel. And I wasn't really all that impressed by it at first because of that, because I was like, oh, they had this really cool sound that they evolved into, and now it feels like they're taking a step backwards. However, I recently saw them play this album in full, live.
Same here.
And, brother, the fucking energy that this album exudes is unfucking paralleled. I still like The Valley and Kin probably a little bit more than this album, but as far as heavy fucking just classic Whitechapel sound goes, this album fucking hits different. Some standout tracks. Prisoner 666 is just fucking gnarly. The first single that they put out off of this album, A Visceral Wretch, is a fucking powerhouse of a song, and it comes out swinging, and it does not stop swinging for a solid 5 or 6 minutes. The title track, Hymns in Dissonance, again, one of the best, probably the best breakdown of the year. Unbelievable. Love it. 10 out of 10. And, oh god, is it Hate Cult Ritual that starts with the chanting? Sounds like sounds like you're walking through the woods and you just happened upon a fucking evil cult ritual that's got a hate cult ritual, if you will, going on in the middle of the woods. It's terrifying, and it's even more terrifying when you see it live.
I believe it.
Good shit. Go ahead.
I think that I agree with you on them definitely returning to form here, but it feels like if they were to have just started Whitechapel back in the day, and they just made this is their one of their first albums, but they were given the ability and talent to produce an album after 20 years of doing music. It feels like they were given the money and finances and studio quality that they would have gotten now, but back when they first started making music. That's what this feels like.
Yeah, I agree with that. It feels like a band that's been doing this for over 20 years, and they were sitting in a room one day and they said to themselves, let's make an album for our 18-year-old selves.
Yeah.
Like, what would 2006 Phil Bozeman want to hear out of an album? This is it.
This is let me take all that angst and like anger and frustration and stuff that I had then and just put it into this album. It was insane. I agree wholeheartedly. It's a banger. Not what I personally listen to Whitechapel for, and I'm in the minority boat with you on that one, buddy, but like still just fucking disgusting the whole way through. This album, I was literally sitting through like each song. I was like, damn, yeah, they still got it. Oh God, what is? Oh Jesus, what is that? Oh yeah, yeah, do it, Phil, please. Oh God,
dude, when they fucking came out on stage, and the first thing you hear out of Phil Bozeman's mouth is, "I bear the number 666," and then the entire fucking the entirety of Woolies just fucking exploded. It was insane.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 would go again.
Yeah, we want to see Whitechapel again as soon as we can. My girlfriend has a giant crush on Phil Bozeman, same. But after we seen them the first time with Sanguisuga Bog and Lorna Shore, and I can't remember the band that opened for them, but yeah, after we seen them that day, we were just like, yeah, we gotta go see these guys again for sure. But
it makes me really happy that Whitechapel is, like, as much as I like the evolution of sound that they had on the last two albums, it makes me happy to know that after all this time, they can still do this.
Yeah.
Like,
I sure wish there was another band that I used to listen to a lot that would do the same thing.
I was gonna bring up Bring Me the Horizon. Like, this feels like, obviously Bring Me the Horizon's sound has changed so drastically over the years that most people don't even realize that they used to be a deathcore band. But this album, Hymns and Dissonance, is what it would be like if Bring Me the Horizon put out another, like, Count Your Blessings type album.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Speaking of which, they need to fucking do that, because, like, what the fuck? We're all waiting for it.
Yeah. Not the band that I was referencing, but I agree, for sure. I was referring to one that we just recently were talking about the other day, but...
Oh, I have no idea who you're talking about. I'm going to be real with you.
Avenged Sevenfold could probably use a little bit of going back to their roots.
Don't even get me fucking started on this new Avenged Sevenfold song, dude. This new fucking Avenged Sevenfold song chaps my ass. All right, I'm not gonna talk about it any further than that.
Derek, you were not a part of this conversation, but I referred to the new Avenged Sevenfold song the other day as when I pick up Willow shit in one of those little shit bags, the little green ones, and then throw it in the designated shit trash cans and forget about it. That's what this new Avenged Sevenfold song sounded like.
Have you guys ever seen those TikToks of the dude that, like, he's got a really shitty...
I do, but please.
There's this dude on TikTok that's his neighbor's dog keeps shitting in his yard, and he's taken it upon himself to, like, take a snow shovel, scoop up all the shit, and then slings it at their car.
Yeah.
The way the fucking shit just splatters on the side of the car door, that's what this fucking new Avenged Sevenfold song sounds like. Anyway, I've yapped far too long. Hymns and Dissonance, Whitechapel, number 3. Take it away, Jacob.
I love you, Avenged Sevenfold, I really do, but please. 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 All right. My number 3. This one was tough. This one was tough because I personally have listened to this a lot, and I've been following this band for a while. This album also came out in October, but it was October 10th, 2025. It's Keep It Quiet by Greyhaven. I I listened to the shit out of this album, and I was actually listening to it on my way to get coffee earlier. This album's been on repeat. I have not got a chance to put them in my top 5 yet, because every year, well, the year that I discovered them, they had released an album the previous year, so I was like, okay, well, I'll go fuck myself, so anyway, I've been wanting to have these guys in my top 5 because I just knew for a fact that, like, as long as they followed up whatever that album was with something similar, it was going to make my top 5, because I loved it. And their previous big album, not their previous EP, well, the previous EP, Stereo Grief, was also really good, but the album before that was just like, I don't know if it hit me at a specific time in my life, and I was just like really in those feels, and it just hit me different than a lot of other stuff did, and so forth. But I had it on at a time that I was just like not in a good headspace. I was going through a lot of shit in life, and yeah, it hit different. This album, however, I'm not really going through a ton of like super heavy stuff. I mean, it's been hectic at my house, don't get me wrong. We've been moving, we got 2 kids, there's been a lot of work stuff that's been going on and so forth, and the holidays. So yes, we're going through a lot of stuff right now, but I'm not in a mental state that I was previously when I had listened to these guys a lot, and it doesn't matter, because the music in this album, the vocals on this album, the atmosphere of this album, it all still hits so much. I don't know why these guys are as underrated as they are, but shout out to these guys, by the way. They just did their first headlining tour. They're still going, actually. They're still doing it, and I got the pleasure of going to one of the shows up in Worcester, Mass, and they killed it as usual. Definitely the highlight of that show for sure. Fox Lake also fucking heat. Those guys know how to fucking put on a show. They're insane. But anyway, Keep It Quiet by Greyhaven is just such an awesome album. And anybody that's trying to get into metalcore, or, I guess it's a little heavier than metalcore, but it's not quite deathcore, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of between that. However, this guy has got so much fucking range in his vocals. Cleans, screams, all of it. He just makes it sound easy. He makes it look easy too. Like, watching him on stage perform these vocals, it's just like another voice, dude. Like, he doesn't even care. It's just like he just like says the words in the ways that he does, and it's beautiful. I mean, I don't have any other way to describe it. These are some talented ass motherfuckers in every way. And this album is definitely a culmination of probably some of these guys' best performances by a landslide. It is very good. Definitely check it out. They're from Louisville, Kentucky, and they've got some of that some of that like southern soul, in a lot of their vocals. The guys' clean vocals are very raspy. It's got very like nice rasp in his voice and stuff like that, but you can feel the culture that they came from in all of their stuff, and I also love that a lot. So anyway, number 3, Keep It Quiet by Greyhaven.
Is Greyhaven the band that we saw with
Fire from the Gods?
Fire from the Gods. That's what I thought.
Norma Jean.
Right.
It was
they were pretty solid.
Non Grata, and then Greyhaven, and then Fire from the Gods, and then Norma Jean, I believe. But
yeah, they were pretty fucking lit,
dude.
I haven't listened to their new album, but
if you get a chance, do it. It's very good. They added a lot more cleans on this one, but that's not a bad thing. Trust me, the dude's clean vocals are absolutely insane. They're just so fucking good. His screams are good. The guitar work on this fucking album is also insane. They have some crazy little fills and like riffs and just intricacies that, thanks to these new headphones that I got, I can hear all of now while I'm doing dishes at work. So good. But anyway, number 3, Keep It Quiet by Greyhaven. What you got, Derek?
Number 3, released April 25th of 2025. And I was honestly kind of surprised this got edged out from my number 1 because it was for the majority of the year, but I'm talking about Skeleton by Ghost. The problem that I ran into with the album is after the first 3 songs, so Peacefield, Lacrima, and Satanized, it dips hard. Now, I'm not saying any of the songs are bad on this album, but I don't know, there's something messed up with the flow of the album. So, like, in Festunam or even Meloria, the albums would flow and they're great albums. This, like, after the first 3 songs, they just hit a peak, and then they about damn near fall off the goddamn thing. And I mean, I'm being harsher just because Ghost is one of my favorite bands, so I have an expectation of them. But yeah, Lacrima is just a bop and a half. That riff is fucking sick. Peacefield, in my mind, is legitimately perfect for riding into battle. Like, you know you're gonna die. You know something bad's gonna happen. Just cruise, put that on. Like, many a mornings I was taking tests, Peacefield was playing. And it's like, yeah, we're going into the shit right now. We are going in knee deep in the shit real fucking quick.
Damn, an odd thing that a lot of cheerful stuff, man.
Yeah. One thing I will say though, however, is like the first 3 tracks on the album, I would put these first 3 up against any 3 off of any of my top 5. This wins out 10 times out of 10. It's just the rest of the album, I don't know, something's fucked up and it doesn't like flow as good. One thing that kind of bothers me a little bit is the song Umbra. Listen to that. It's the PS2 opening, like at the beginning of the song. And I said that to one of my buddies, and he was like, how the fuck did I not catch that? And I was like, yeah, it literally sounds like you're starting up a PS2.
Jacob, you got to put a clip of this in the video in post.
Yeah,
dude, speaking of the fucking PS2 intro, I found on my story the other day when PS5 released the old backgrounds and like sound effects and stuff from the previous PlayStations, and I just got so depressed, dude. I was like, why was this a temporary thing? I'm so fucking mad about it. Anyway, that's a video for a different time, but you just
we've already made that video. We were pissed. Like,
yeah, we did.
Like, they need to go back to that. There was
no reason to make that temporary. It's fucking stupid.
Absolutely ignorant. But yeah, I don't know. This is a weaker entry for Ghost in my mind, which sucks because this is the more 80s influenced album, and 80s metal is my shit. So hopefully they get it back next time around. But yeah, number 3, Skeleton by Ghost.
Nice.
I will say I did like Lacrima. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I did like that song quite a bit.
That fucking riff is sick, dude.
It's got a really fucking catchy chorus, too. I know Ghost is kind of known for their catchy choruses, but that one is like... I mean, it's a well-stated fact at this point that I'm not the biggest Ghost fan, but when I first heard that song, for like a week or 2 afterwards, I was like walking around at work just crying over someone like you. Yeah. It was hard stuck in my head.
Yeah. No, that's one thing that is good about the album is, like, 9 times out of 10 you hear Ghost, you're gonna think, oh, Satan. Okay. There is none of that in Lacrima, so there is like a better gateway of showing people, like, this is what they can do. Wade into the waters and then you'll be knee deep in Satan before you know it.
Hell yeah. I love being knee deep in Satan.
Same. I love being balls deep in Satan.
He likes being balls
I
deep
love
in
being
you.
balls deep in you while you're balls deep in Satan.
Ooh.
Making Satan have a butt baby.
If you're balls deep in Satan and Jacob is balls deep in you, which way are you pulling?
Oh my god. This has turned into a whole different podcast episode. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to age
All right,
restrict
Cody.
this.
Number 3. What you got?
Please, quick, before we fucking say anything else stupid like
Yeah,
you
we're
giving Satan a butt,
derailing.
baby. All right.
Well, sorry, I've been the only person that's watched South Park.
All right, Cody, what you got?
Oh man, this was the feels to the Max album. We're
Had
gonna
a
go
lot
with
of those this year.
oh my god. This one was particularly rough, and I'll explain why. We're gonna go with "In the Earth Again" by Chat Pile. Our last episode last year, you were pretty surprised that Chat Pile didn't make my list. Cool World was good. It definitely showcased like more of their heavy side, but it was lackluster compared to their first album. It was nowhere near as harrowing. I didn't feel like the lyrics really hit as hard. So Cool World, it was like a 7 out of 10 for me. It was good, but I don't revisit it very often. That is not the case with this. Part of the lacklusterness I think I felt from Cool World was they had released 3 singles before Cool World came out, and they sounded like they were elaborating more on like a grunge-inspired, cleaner, kind of more melancholy sound instead of just being like a schizophrenic crisis the whole time. And this is the album that I wanted Chat Pile to release last year. This really, really blows me out of the water with how they expanded upon the sad sound. There's a lot of acoustic work in this. And like when you look at the album artwork, it's the band with the guest who's on the album. What looks like in front of a sunset in a war-torn zone. And there are tracks on here that I'll pick a couple right now that I could talk about. Yeah, the first actual song, Demon Time, which has the exact same kind of aura of Planet Caravan from Black Sabbath, but in a less calm way. This is a lot more brooding. It's a lot more dark, and it's gentle, just like Planet Caravan. You have songs like "Behold a Pale Horse." There's like three instrumentals on this. This is one of them. It sounds like something that you could put in Anathema's "The Silent Enigma," which to me is one of the greatest like doom metal albums ever. And you couldn't tell me that it didn't belong on it. And it's that level of craftsmanship that I was not expecting. I was expecting this to be good because Demon Time was the first song they put out from it. And you get this feeling of a sunset the entire time. It has been my morning album since it came out every single day when I walk my dog. And that was probably the hardest part with this album. The song Radioactive Dreams, there was a night where, like, Jacob's seen my dog. He's old. He's 13 years old. His time is probably more numbered than it has ever, of course. So there was a night I was taking him outside, as I normally do, and I was listening to Radioactive Dreams, and as that song, like right before it played, it's pretty funny, but whenever my dog does his duties, he has this little pep in his step for a second, and he ran at me. I have not seen my dog run in almost 6 years. And he even attempted to try and hop up the stairs instead of doing his long, slow walk that he does up them. And it just kind of like broke my heart because the way the song opens up, it just reminded me of that spring that he had. And it's a reminder that like one day he'll be gone. It hurts. Give me a sec. yeah, you're reminded of like the cycles of life and how like in the end we all face the end, and like none of us ever want it to happen, but it does.
Especially with our animals.
Exactly. Like I know Paisley passed away, and that hurt my little heart, man.
Yeah. Meg just, we were driving earlier yesterday when I picked her up or whatever, and we were just like kind of quiet for a little bit, and she just randomly was like, "Man, I miss Paisley," and I was like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, it's rough, man. But I appreciate this album for like bringing that out, because it's a feeling that I often repress, and I find some outlet to like get it out of my mind. But this album doesn't let you do that, dude. It makes you face reality. It makes you realize the situation you're in, and it makes you like there's enough hope in it that, you know, you do look to the future, and you do look forward to what it is you can accomplish that month. This is a very powerful work, I think, for, you know, it's what, 36 minutes long. They really put in some fucking effort here, and as you just saw, it's a tear-jerking album. You will find something to relate to, even if it's not lyrically, because some of the lyrics on this make no fucking sense at all. Like, you know, the first song, Demon Time, literally the lyrics are, "Hey, stupid eyes, there's no turning back now. I don't want to be inside. All the castles of the world will burn, but someday all the demons will return." Nothing about that makes any fucking sense whatsoever. But the way
But it sounds cool.
it does.
Provocative. It gets the people going.
It's not the lyrics themselves that relate to it. It's just more of the sounds they put forth. The guitars, just the tremolo picking and the acoustics. And, you know, instead of screaming the entire fucking time, there is no screaming on this album. And he legitimately does sing in this kind of like this Nirvana, Alice in Chains-esque kind of singing going on, and this grungy, like the depressed side of grunge is very prevalent in his singing on this album. And what a way to bring that sound that I've been looking forward to for a long time out. Like, they really delivered, like most bands did this year. Yeah, this is a tearjerker, dude. The sound is very impending. It is calm. It's beautiful. There are times in this where it feels like the spring. You can think of like the smell of petrichor and the butterflies roaming around the flowers. Like, there is a very wide variety of sound and a very large amount of emotion in this album. So I definitely recommend it. It will put you in your fucking feels to the max.
Well, yeah. I definitely will check it out. I enjoyed the previous chat pile, and then I think the first one that you showed me, whichever one Y is on. I don't remember which that one is, but
that's God's Country, their first album.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool. I liked that a lot, but I didn't check this one out, but I'll add it to my list. But
it's rough, man. It's good.
I just saved it.
Sweet. Yeah,
I actually just downloaded it. I didn't actually mean to download it, but I just downloaded it. So,
well, it's worth the download, I promise.
In the Earth Again by Chatpile and Hayden Pedigo.
Yeah, he has a small role in this album. In fact, I think the only time he really sticks out, and not like as part of like an ambience, and it's probably my least favorite part of the album, is the little like minute and a half instrumental called Fish Infusion. It just starts off with like 40 minutes or 40 seconds of just this fucking noise, like just this wall of noise. And it's like this pounding noise. It's like dun 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 dun, like really fucking stupid and really unnecessary. But like outside of that, everything else on this is, man, It's a ride.
Hell yeah. Well, we're getting into number 2 territory, which is we're getting to the goodie of the goodies here. So Toby, what you got? Number 2.
I don't know about you guys, but my number 1 and number 2 were going back and forth for a fucking hot minute.
Same.
But
Yeah.
I think I'm happy with this. But my number 2 is the triumphant return of the band that was sitting pretty at my number 1 spot in the 2021 list. We have Rivers of Nile with Rivers of Nile.
Nice.
This is the first, I mean, if anybody has seen or listened to our list from 2021, I was very vocal about my absolute love for The Work, their last album. This, I feel, is even better. I actually like this album more than the album that I was hailing as one of my favorite albums of all time. If that tells you anything. This is the first album with the new vocalist, Andy Thomas, formerly from Black Crown Initiate. And typically when a band switches vocalists, that usually spells the end of the band, or at least that era of the band. But I feel like this guy fits really fucking well into the Rivers of Nile machine.
I think that's
a lot more.
Actually, it's just funny you mentioned that because I'm pretty certain what happened with Fallujah as well. Remember how, like I was mentioning earlier, that the sound was just not there. I'm pretty sure it's because they got a different vocalist, and I was just like, it's good, but it's not what I wanted from Fallujah. So same thing basically happened here. And it's also funny that you mentioned this is better than The Work, because not that it's bad. I enjoyed the album. It was a pretty solid album, but I feel like I've gotten less into Rivers of Nile progressively. I still like Owls more than this or The Work. Again, not a slight at either one of those albums. They're both great, but I don't know, just something about Owls was just...
Yeah. See, I think it has a lot to do with like when I discovered Rivers of Nile and what like the headspace that I was in at the time. But I've gone back and listened to Owls, Where Owls Know My Name, a lot, and it's a great album. And everybody that I have ever talked to hails it as like their magnum opus, like it's Rivers of Nile's best album. I know you share that
Personally,
sentiment. I know Cody has at least said that a few times. There's a guy I work with that is a big Rivers of Nile fan, and he says the same thing. I just don't like... I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's a great album, but I do not like it as much as The Work. And I think that has a lot to do with when I discovered them, because I found Rivers of Nile when they put out The Work.
Yeah.
But this new album is phenomenal, and it has the best consecutive 3-song run that I have heard since Pain Remains. Despair Church, Water in Time, and House of Light are just those 3 songs. Every song on this album is phenomenal, but those 3 songs in particular, when listened to in a consecutively, phenomenal. Like, those 3 songs all 3 of those songs were in my top 5 songs on my Spotify Wrapped. I've listened to them so many fucking times. I love this album, and I cannot wait to see where this band goes next. I also cannot wait to see them with this new vocalist, because they're coming to fucking Iowa City in February.
I saw them. You're in for a treat. It was cool when I saw them. I was bruising the living shit out of them boys like I always do in the mosh pits. We all know this. And Andy, like I was staring at him right before, like when they were building up to play American Dream, or what was that? No, American Death.
American Death, yeah.
Yeah, and that song, I love that. That's ass kicking music. And I was just staring at Andy, and he stares back at me for a second, and he just slowly raises his arm and points at me, and I point back. I'm like, yeah! And sure enough, I beat the shit out of them boys in that pit.
I love that for you.
Dude, it was. But you know what sucked about that night? My friend who I took with me, who like we planned this out months in advance. Dog, we get there. There's a drunk guy who's going to the show, and he's cool or whatever. Wants Rob to hold him. He was drunk, and he tried to give him a hug and hop onto him. This man was like 300 something pounds. Rob immediately fucking drops him, and when he falls, gave him a hairline fracture that night in his foot.
Damn.
What the fuck?
So I had to leave halfway through the set of Rivers.
Oh, that's tragic.
I would have been pissed.
But
we got to see Rivers with their old vocalist, but
Yeah.
I saw them on the River or the Where Owls Know My Name tour. And Toby, honestly, I like the work more, mainly because I would say because of its sentimental place in my life. But this, I knew once I heard Andy from Black Crown Initiate was coming onto the scene. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be nuts. I knew I knew that his clean singing would fit right in, like his melodies and his lyrics and the catchiness of his leads. Oh my god.
Yeah, this album has a lot more clean singing than previous Rivers of Nile albums, and I am fucking here for it. The dude's voice is insane. Like, I would let this man sing me to sleep every night.
Same.
hell yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
my number 2, Rivers of Nile, Rivers of Nile.
That's crazy because I also have, well, not really a self-titled, but also kind of a self-titled. My number 2 released August 8th, 2025, and it is Black Braid 3 by Black Braid. So I guess they're all self-titles. They're just a different number in each one. But anyway, Black Braid 3 by Black Braid is a black metal band, or a black metal album by he's solo, isn't he? He does this solo.
No, it's a band. When I saw
He has
them.
a band. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's ever depicted by himself, like in like most of his promotional stuff. So I assume
they might just tour with him. He might make the music himself.
Oh yeah, just a touring band. Yeah. Anybody that knows for certain, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this album was fucking beautiful. Every single inch of it, from top to bottom, was phenomenal. From the album artwork to the music to the vocals to everything in between. It was great. Black Braid 2 was just so fucking good. I discovered it after we had done that year's top 5 though, so it was not in my top 5, but definitely would have been if I had discovered it sooner. Anyway, Black Braid 3 is a natural progression of Black Braid 2 and Black Braid 1. It just feels like it fits along with the story. There's nothing like groundbreaking or like, you know what I mean? Like it's just native influenced black metal, and that's all there is to it, really. It's simple, it's straightforward, to the point, but it sounds like home. It just sounds like it makes me feel like I am where I need to be. It's very heavy in some places, it's very melodic in some places, it's very calm in some places, and it's just like a very perfect amalgam of like feeling all around. Makes me want to just go wander through the woods and shit and find a stag skull and like put it on some altar and chant to some fucking gods of the forest and shit. Like it's that kind of stuff, and I love all of it. It's so good. And yeah, like I was telling Cody the other day, this album reminds me of when Cody and I would like hang out in my backyard and just bullshit around the fire and stuff at the fucking god awful hours of the morning, and just like hang out. I don't know, it's just a very nostalgic feeling of sorts, you know. But Yeah, that's really it. It's a very simple, straightforward. This one came straight down to like the amount of times I listened to it. You know, I was like, this has to be my top 5 somewhere. And if I was going to take this over, or if it was between the previous 4, you know, or the previous 3 and this one, I would probably listen to this one first. So, yeah.
I was actually listening. I was actually listening to this album last night while I was at work because I had listened to it once before and it just didn't really do it for me. It's a good album, but it didn't hit the right spot for me, you know. But I kept seeing all over, like I was looking up lists of top 5 albums of the year, top 5 metal albums or whatever a couple days ago, and I saw this album in fucking droves. I was scrolling down a Reddit post of like somebody had asked what was your favorite metal album of the year, and there was a lot of there's a lot of different answers, but I saw Black Braid 3 on there a lot, and I was like, did I miss something? Like, what the fuck? Because I was not overly impressed with this album, so I put it on again last night while I was working, and it is really fucking good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking good. I was working, so I wasn't really paying super close attention to it, but there was one point somewhere in the album where it was like a transition. It was either the intro or the outro of some song, and there was no music at all. It was just like the ambient sounds of like a forest. Like you could hear like the cicadas and like the chirping of crickets and shit off in the distance, and it just felt really serene. Like I was sitting there in the fucking cat food aisle just throwing some shit on the shelf, and I was like, I stopped like mid-box and I was like, oh, this is nice.
And then he just hits you. I don't remember what song it is, but the beginning of one of them, he just goes, at the very beginning of it, he just
that was really funny because your mic cut out. So
it's just like a guttural fucking like of sound. Basically, he doesn't say anything. He just like blurts something out, like throat, you know, like gutturals or something, and it it comes out of nowhere, but it's fucking great.
Hell yeah!
Contrast
all that to say,
nature and stuff, but yeah.
Like, I know we'll get to this eventually, but all that to say, I did put Black Braid 3 in my honorable mentions, like, right shortly before we started recording.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. It's definitely his best work, by a lot. Not that Black Braid 1 and 2 is not good, because I still listen to them to this day, but this is definitely, like, easily some of his best guitar work, for sure. But I think even some of his best vocals are on this, so... But yeah, number 2, Black Braid 3 by Black Braid.
Over to Derek.
All right, number 2. This album, I didn't even, like, it was not on my radar at all. And honestly, I think I found out about it like a few days after it came out, because one of my buddies in another group chat, he was like, hey, you guys need to check this out, because it's kind of punk, kind of gothic, and then it's got some 80s new wave feel in it. I think he said it was like Cure, Misfits, and then Duran Duran is what he said. I didn't really get any Duran Duran off of this.
That's crazy.
But so shout out to Josh for this one. But yeah, number 2, this was released on Halloween, and I am talking about Sanguivar 2, Mistress of Death by Creeper. Yeah, this album, what got me was the fucking choruses. The choruses in every song are just, you can't help but sing them. They get stuck in your head. They are so goddamn catchy. Like, for instance, the first one that got stuck in my head, because I put it on and I started cleaning, so I wasn't like really listening to it super close attention to detail. But then, yeah, you know, I'm vacuuming, it's blood magic ritual, and I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even, like, it just came out of nowhere, and I was like, okay, I need to go actually sit down and listen to this. But yeah, Blood Magic, even the opener, Mistress of Death. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I was running around the hospital, Mistress of Death, just like singing that whole thing. It's like, don't sing that too fucking loud. I'm in a whole, like, the name of the hospital was Holy Family, and I'm singing about a Mistress of Death. So don't do that.
Creeper was using you as a vessel to live through your body.
I guess. Headstones definitely, at least to me, screams. It's got more of a Misfits influence to it. The like praying for the night, or pray for the night, sorry, and daydreaming in the dark. That's where you kind of get that '80s new wave feel to it. And then it's good. Every song doesn't sound the same. It takes breaks. It lets off the gas when it knows it needs to. Like the song Razor Wire, it's got more like a jazzy, old-time feel to it mixed with that gothicness. And yeah, it fucking hits. So if you guys haven't heard of this band, just give it a listen. It's quick. You'll have at least one chorus stuck in your head. I promise you that much. But yeah, Sanguivar 2, Mistress of Death by Creeper, my number 2.
Hell yeah.
I'll definitely check it out. Sounds cool as fuck. I'm a big Misfits fan, so
yeah,
whenever you had me at the Misfits.
So
yeah, you'll get it.
I've never heard of Creeper before, but all of that does.
Neither have I. Yeah, neither. Like, I had never heard of him, and I was okay, Josh, what dumb shit did you recommend? Because me and him, like, he's got some hot takes that I think are some of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. I love him to death, but I checked that album out. I was like, okay, he was spot on with this one.
I am kind of surprised that the those little green fuckers from Minecraft are making like 80s music. That's kind of cool.
Those little green fuckers from Minecraft. He's wild, dude. Oh, that's awesome. Now I want an edit of that. Somebody, please.
The only reason I made that joke is because I just looked up Creeper on Spotify.
God.
I just got a picture of the fucking Creeper's face from Minecraft. There's a song by Dan Bull that came up, and it's got the album artwork is just a picture of the Creeper from Minecraft, and the song is called Boom 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 Boom.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Anyway,
That's
Cody,
ugly.
what you got? Number 2.
All right.
Fucking disgusting.
Number two came out very early this year, and I think I've only mentioned it to you guys once. We're gonna go with "The Return of Magic" by Rawake, RWAKE. This is the first album from these guys in 10 years. And they come back with some of their strongest work, in my opinion. This in my number 1 spot.
Magic?
Yep.
Huh.
Magic with a
Interesting.
K.
They did that on purpose. You said it was
Magic,
their first like release in a while, so they returned with Magic.
Yep. They just returned.
With that one bitch from X-Men?
Yes.
That stupid bitch that I don't like fighting against on Rivals. God damn it.
But no, this
Dude,
was
she's so annoying.
this was different for me. I never really listened to them. They have an album where it's like a picture of a sun, like if you're looking up at a dead tree from this view and it's sitting above you and the sun is peering down. I got that like a feeling that would be similar to sitting there. I get that in this. Just the quality, like it's very different sounding from what I normally listen to from metal. It's very melodic, but it's got this kind of like country twang to it. This kind of like this Kentucky, Oklahoma kind of sound to it, and each song, like they're really long. Like this is a pretty long album. It's an hour long, but it kept my attention because each riff just flows into each other very well while still being very far-reaching in its experimentation, and it's and I don't mean this word in how we typically think of it in metal terms, but it's technical, but not in like a Beyond Creation way or a fucking who's another tech death band. It's not like Archspire. This is just technical in the way that you would think of like Johnny Cash or someone playing on a guitar. Like, it doesn't sound complicated until you like see it, but this does sound complicated without being difficult to listen to. Like everything, like I said, it just flows very well. And you can feel the time spent on it. You can feel the years and hours and minutes of toil and labor that it probably took to make something this good. I wouldn't call it doom metal because aside from like the beginning of the first track, there really is not a slow moment on this album. There's no blast beats, but it stays pretty up tempo the whole entire time. But I think, Jacob, this would appeal to you. This really, it's melodic in a sense that I immediately think of you. I think of like,
I am pretty melodic.
Yeah, you would get a kick out of this one. Especially.
I've actually been looking at the artwork the whole time you've been talking, and I'm like thoroughly intrigued. I'm probably gonna beat this.
It's so good. Like, you guys mentioned that Acacia Strain had the best lyrics. I'm going to read you the beginning of the song Distant Constellations and the Psychedelic Incarceration. And I think this particular excerpt has some of the best lyrics of the year. It's a little long, though, so just bear with me. It goes, I believe that youth is the wealth of the world, but sadly, so many today are lab rats per se. They've become chemistry majors seeking chemicals and in dire need of a miracle. For now, they have become incarcerated in a do-it-yourself psychedelic jail cell deep within their own minds. Like a heavy metal meltdown, they have become derailed and have lost the trail that leads back to themselves. I hope you can see that being lost in their very own out-of-service, very nervous breakdown and sent straight down from hell is the reason why so many become freaked out and shot off and got off too much in their inner minds too many times. So instead of an epiphany, it's more like insanity. You might say that some are so lost in their dementia that they never come back. They're eager to become catatonic, in a coma, or dead. So if you're picking up what I'm laying down, you will see that the best of the rest have drowned.
God damn.
That goes hard as fuck.
Jesus.
The lyrics and the entire thing, just the rhyming and the lyric, like just the expansive vernacular, like it blew me away. It blew the literature side out of, like, the side of me out of the water. Like they had to have worked on this for at least 5 years. Like, it's just such quality. The pedigree of the music is wonderful. Every lead on this just invokes so many emotions, and it doesn't make you cry. Nothing about this album, makes me cry, but it has a kind of melancholy and this kind of roll to it, paired in with that kind of weird country twang that they got going on. Yeah, this was really good. I mean, for a whole hour, like I've said, like as I've gotten older, my attention span has been getting worse. And to really hold my attention for an hour, you got to really like be out there. You got to really put some work into it, and they really did on this. It is, every time I've had to go to the Veterans Affairs Hospital 30 minutes from my house to pick up medication because I didn't keep track of it, this is the album I listen to on the way there and on the way back, because it's an hour to drive to and drive back from that hospital. And
nice.
I couldn't stress it enough. I really enjoyed this. It came out during the winter. It was a good winter thing to kind of keep the morale rolling, and I'm glad that they returned to the scene. I'm certainly a fan now.
I'm thoroughly intrigued. I will definitely be checking this out.
What did you say it was called?
The Return of Magic by Rwake. If you think of Rwanda, the country, it's literally R with the word wake.
Okay.
Yeah, the
I'm
album
definitely
artwork
checking
alone
this
has
out.
me
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
not-
god, yeah. What the fuck?
And then like the range of vocals on this, and just the way the vocals sound in general, also makes it stick out. Because it doesn't sound like boring generic death metal vocals. It's more screaming than it is like growling. In fact, I don't think there's really any growling in this, but there's a lot of monologue, there's whispering, there's singing. Yeah, this is a pretty big beast. I really enjoyed it a lot, just because it's so consistent.
Hell yeah.
I think we've said hell yeah at the end of every single entry that we've done so far. Somebody has said hell yeah at the end of every single album.
Hell yeah, brother.
Brother,
That fucking that meme page on Facebook, memes that will make any man say hell yeah or whatever. I've seen I've seen groups
Or
with that and shit.
Guys will just see this and just say hell yeah.
Yeah, that one.
All the time.
Guys will see this and just say hell yeah.
we all have the same caveman brain.
Yeah, true. All right, dude. We're getting into the good stuff. I mean, it's all been good stuff so far, but we're getting into the number ones and the honorable mentions and the not so good stuff. So, let's go ahead and go through all of our honorable mentions. We're gonna rapid fire these probably.
Yeah, I've got a lot of them here.
Yeah, I've got a decent amount, but we're just gonna rapid fire. I do have, like I said, I have one that I do want to shout out specifically, and then we will continue to go around the room, shout out our honorable mentions, and Toby, go ahead. What you got?
You want me to just list off all of them?
Yep, just
Yeah.
list off your honorable mentions, and if there's any in particular you'd like to give specific shout outs to, then just mention them. But
All right. Well, to kick it off, we have Death Above Life by Orbit Culture, Even in Arcadia by Sleep Token, Gold Star by Imperial Triumphant, Private Music by Deftones, Back from Hell by Caliban. Oh man, I looked up the pronunciation of this before I started recording. I'm going to see if I remember how to do this. Veribus Unitus by 1914.
That's a good one.
That album, I'm going to real quick, that album is phenomenal. If anybody doesn't know who 1914 is, they're a black metal band that almost exclusively sings about World War One, but they're
so basically,
Ukrainian.
Toby's type.
They are a band from Ukraine, and I follow this band on Instagram and Facebook, and they're very active on there because, as I'm sure you all know, because none of you are living under a rock, there's some fucking shit going on in Ukraine right now, and has been for a couple years. These guys are right there on the front lines, and they're very, ironically, for a band that sings about war, they are very anti-war. And there's a song on the end, the very last song on this album. It is a acoustic ballad that completely divulges from the World War One theme and just straight up talks about the shit going on in Ukraine. And it is fucking powerful. If you don't listen to anything else off of this album, listen to that last song. It will have you in tears, I promise. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
I've got The Shit of God on here by Behemoth. Black Braid 3 by Black Braid. You mentioned earlier that you were talking about the worst fucking album title of all time. This is mine. I hate this album title. I Can Feel the Ever Black Festering Within Me by Lorna Shore. That is so goddamn stupid. I hate that title. Whoever came up with that
Doesn't
just
touch the worst.
Oh my god,
doesn't
it's
touch
so
the
lame.
worst, no. It is lame, but it's not.
It's
not
it's
that
lame.
kind of lame.
It's lame.
Anyway,
Yeah.
solid album, not top 5 material, terrible album title. Hate it. I've got Victim 2 by A Killer's Confession on here. That one almost made my list. That is a very fucking good album. I liked it a lot. Shadow Work by Despised Icon.
Hell yeah.
Stare Into the Seething Wounds by Extortionist. You Are Safe from God Here by the Acacia Strain. And This Used to Be Heaven by Angel Maker are my honorable mentions.
Nice. Did you have a worst album of the year?
I fucking don't have it written down here, but the new The Devil Wears Prada album made my fucking asshole itch. I hated that album so goddamn much. However, I do have a most disappointing album of the year.
Yeah, hit us.
I don't know if you guys remember, but at the very end of last year when we recorded this, I proposed the question, what is a band that you hope puts out an album next year? Mine was Sabaton. Sabaton put out an album this year, and it was all right.
Yeah. I didn't think it was bad, but yeah, it was okay.
It wasn't Sabaton-y enough for me.
It was an album. That's for sure.
It was all right.
It was an album.
I don't think it had a single song on that album that stood out to me. It was all just kind of like meh.
That's fair. All right.
But yeah.
Nice. All right. My
Hell yeah.
my honorable. Hell yeah. Okay, my first honorable mention, I do want to put a little asterisk next to Keep Planting Flowers by Stick to Your Guns. This one was very hard for me to get out of my top 5. I very, 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 very closely switched this. I mean, I very recently switched this with Fallujah for my number 5 because I loved the shit out of this album. However, the thing it came down to was the fact that I just listened to the Fallujah album in its entirety more, and there was never a point on the Fallujah album that I felt like was dragging or I needed to switch a song or whatever. And there was a couple points in the Stick to Your Guns album. However, Invisible Rain, I believe, is the name of the song. I don't remember. It's the slower one, the one that puts you in the feels. Dude, that shit almost had me in tears multiple times, and it's just such a damn good song. The lyricism in it, it's very simple, it's very straightforward, but the way they use their lyric art is fucking phenomenal. Like, it sounds like it was very methodically planned out, and yeah, the wordplay is fantastic. But anyway, yeah, Keep Planting Flowers by Stick to Your Guns. Cursed by Paleface Swiss. Big Ol' Album Volume 1 by A Day to Remember. Tsunami Sea by Spirit Box. Hymns and Dissonance by Whitechapel. Hymns and Dissonance by Whitechapel. Zenith by Blade from Within. Sorry about that, guys. Anv by Elvidi. Alunia by Kardashev. True Believers by Matt Heafy. Rivers of Nile by Rivers of Nile. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this, but the new Viljarta album was also phenomenal. So damn good. Through Shadows by Born of Osiris. The Thunderfist Chronicles by Ailstorm. Super fun album. Imperium Delirium by Shadow of Intent. Reader of the Runes by Elven King. I Feel the Everblack Festering Within Me by Lorna Shore. Death Above Life by Orbit Culture. And then I do have 2 other specific shout outs after I go throw my dog into a void. Give me a second.
So,
Yeah.
how are the kids?
Sorry about that. The kids just got here, and Willow was excited, but she got locked in the room with me. But anyway, these are 2 of my friends, and my friends both put out albums this year. My buddy Raymond Jazz, Ray, he went to school with Cody and I. The album is Black Like I Never Left. It is fucking phenomenal. If you're into rap, if you're into R&B or any kind of jazz, like rapish kind of sounds in music, this is easily his best work. He put in a lot of time and effort into this album, and I've been kind of following him through the process. He's been sending me stuff for quite a few months now, but he also used a couple of my lo-fi tracks on his previous album for some songs, and yeah, they turned out really good, and I loved them, and they were great, so I was looking forward to this one in particular. This album was phenomenal. Definitely needs a shout out. Raymond, Raymon, Jazz, Jaz. If you ever get a chance to just, if you want to, dude, he's a phenomenal lyricist. He's really good at what he does, and this is easily his best work yet. So definitely check him out if you get a chance. And then, of course, my buddy Matt Wessel, he put out a little EP called The Quest. It's a little RPG chiptune style synth type thing, and it's fucking awesome.
It sounds like it reminds me of like the soundtrack to like a Fable game. Like the old Fable games. It's so good. I love it so much.
Or it definitely wouldn't be out of place in like a Zelda title, you know, or like like stuff like that. It's got a very warm and fuzzy, like going on an epic quest type thing, which is of course the whole point. But yeah, The Quest by M. Wessel is what he is on Spotify. It's just a little 4-track EP, super short and sweet to the point, but it's very fun, very fun. Yeah, I also put out a Dungeon Synth album, which feel free to check it out. It's called The Forgotten Vault on my Scarecrow Spotify page, if you get a chance to check that out. And then I've got another Dungeon Synth album coming out on Christmas, so feel free to check that out as well. Yeah, so my worst album of the year, I didn't really have a worst album of the year, but I'm gonna be that guy. Fucking Sleep Tokens album was shit, sorry.
Yes,
and
it was.
My most disappointing album of the year was also the album with the worst title, and I think Derek is on the same page with me. But Derek, you want to go ahead and take it away?
There were big name disappointments this year. So let me list off a couple, because the album you're talking about, Jacob, is like, it is a fucking huge disappointment. And its album title, it pisses me off. And
Same.
I'm talking about Anti-Fragile by All That Remains.
What kind of cringe ass name is that?
Yeah, that like if you want to just be like, hey, you know what? I've got a little dick, but I'm a big fucking man. Yeah, my album's gonna be called Anti-Fragile. Fuck you, Phil LeBon. You know.
Dude, they could have just as easily had their album titled Lifted Ford F-150, and it would have been the same effect as Anti-Fragile. Like, the same effect.
Their album title could have been Backdoor Guests Are Best. Like, and it would have been better than Anti-Fragile. Like, oh my god, this pisses me off, because like, I love All That Remains, but fuck, this was oh my fucking god.
It was so
stupid.
not good.
Stupid.
It was so not good. Dude, the album itself was like a very big letdown, because I was even trying my first listen through, I was trying to find something to compliment. I was like, okay, well, you know, the instrumental's not that bad, you know, but then like a week later I forgot all of it. So I was like, oh fuck, wait, maybe it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Very forgettable.
No, I forgot this album even existed.
Exactly.
The only reason Derek and I remember it is because we've mentioned it so many fucking times to each other.
Because like you could sit there and say, I feel the ever black festering within me. Yeah, that's cringe. It is not. Sure. It does not have near as much little dick energy as fucking Anti-Fragile. That is absolutely stupid.
Everblack is like 16-year-old emo swoopy hair theater kid cringy. Anti-Fragile is like
divorced dad.
Everybody at the bar.
Order of protection against him from his wife and probably 3 kids.
Yep.
Yeah, a lifted F-150.
That's
He went out-
Dick ain't
went
no
out
bigger
to-
than this.
He's,
Like,
he's wearing the Oakleys. You can't forget those.
He went to get a pack of cigarette 10 years ago.
and
that's
never
the
came back.
I voted for Trump cringe.
Yeah, and he cries into his like boyfriend's ass. I fucking hate this. Like, All That Remains needs to just stop. Like when Ollie died, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. And this just
gone
was
very
like
far down
the
the
nail in that fucking coffin.
Unfortunately.
But anyways, before we devote way more time to that shit ass album, another disappointment I gotta say, This Consequence by Killswitch Engage. I listened to it once and I was like, that
yeah, I
literally
forgot about
did
that too.
fucking nothing for me.
There was one
Killswitch
song.
Engage put out a fucking album?
There was one song.
Exactly. That's how
Holy
fucking
shit.
bland this fucking album was. Like,
There was one song on it that I thought was like super catchy, but
I didn't like nothing was like terrible. Nothing was Anti-Fragile level bad. But it's Killswitch. You have expectations, and especially considering it was how long between this and Incarnate, or what was Incarnate the last album they put out?
you're
asking the wrong person.
Atonement. Okay, yeah. There was a gap between, and they came out with this. This album may as well have just been a wet fart.
I think it was I Believe. I Believe
that was
the
the
song.
Yeah, that was like the main radio single.
That one was like super catchy, and I found myself remembering the melody and the chorus to that like for a while, but overall, yeah, I agree. The album was super fucking lackluster.
Well, super catchy doesn't mean super good either, because a Taylor Swift song can get stuck in your head.
That's fair. That's entirely fair.
I'm gonna say something before we move on. My best friend's ex stepdad was in a band back in the day, this local band from Ottumwa. They were called 12 Days Silent. They had a song called I Believe that I almost guarantee you is better than this Killswitch Engage song. I don't know if you can... I don't know. Their music used to be on Spotify. I don't know if it's still up there, but if it is, go look up 12 Days Silent and listen to the song I Believe. It is fucking lit.
Bon Jovi has a song called I Believe, and it's better than the Killswitch song.
Stained has a song called Believe. It's not.
I just confirmed 12 Days Silent is still on Spotify, and the song is on there.
Hell yeah. I'll peep it.
Okay.
Anyway, honorable mention.
but yeah.
Let's stop talking about doo-doo, poo-poo, shoo-shoo.
Well, no, I'm still on it, because
Oh,
now I'm at my most disappointing album. My most disappointing album of the year was God of Angels Trust by Volbeat. That album was just ass. Like,
That's fair.
it was not. There was one good fucking song on the album, and the rest of it is just rinse and repeat, the same fucking thing. Rob Caggiano is gone, so I don't know. It did not work like the last few albums for me. But the worst album of the year, because that was my most disappointing, Alienation by 3 Days Grace, because they got Adam back. And then this album is still fucking awful. There is not even one redeeming song on this album. They suck. They all suck. And, God, Toby, was it you I was showing that Dominate by 3 Days Grace off of this album is literally More Human Than Human by White Zombie?
I think it was me. I think you were.
Oh, okay. It was
that's
okay.
me.
I know. I've showed it to multiple people.
It might have been
but
to
yeah,
me as well, but I feel like I remember you showing me that.
I didn't have my fucking headset on, so I missed that whole thing.
Dominate by 3 Days Grace is literally just More Human Than Human. White Zombie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Because then, yeah, you were like, yeah, then the hurt people sounds like that. And then I listened to it, I was like, you fucking dick.
Yeah.
Fucking dick.
I mean, yeah, it does. It sounds just like that too.
It has the same like vocal, like, or melody or whatever, but this is like literally just everything, like the bass, drums, everything. It's more human than human. So yeah, that album sucks, and 3 Days Grace needs to just fucking call it a day, but they'll never will. Okay, honorable mentions now. New Delhi by Bloody Wood, Vamp by Magnolia Park.
I forgot to put that in there. That's a great album. I listened to that quite a bit.
Dude, yeah, it blows my mind how different, because when you were talking about it, I was like, the pop punk band? And then we both were like on opposite ends of the spectrum, and then was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't realize they used to be pop punk, but
yeah, I didn't realize they became metalcore.
Put out a straight up metalcore album, and it fucking slapped.
Wednesday 13, Mid-Death Crisis, Caliban, Back from Hell, and then this would and then I'll say Good Charlotte Motel Ducap, and then this would have been my 10 through 6. Sleep Theory, Afterglow, Starset, Silos, Sleep Token, Even in Arcadia, Chevelle, Bright as Blasphemy, and then AFI, Silver Bleeds the Black Sun, which has such an 80s just new wave feel to it. It's fucking crazy. It's awesome. Loved that album. That's it for my honorable mentions and the dog shit.
Nice.
All right.
Cody, what's your honorable mentions and your dog shit? What you got?
It's a pretty long list. Okay, we got Prophet Elia by Patriarch, Gold by Scour. That one almost made my list. Philip Anselmo, even though he's a fucking dickhead in real life from what I've heard, for like making music as long as he has, he kills it here. He really does. Like, hearing him do death metal vocals, like, I grew up on Pantera, dude. Like, I grew up on Pantera, so hearing him at his age making music this intense, to give you an idea of what it sounds like, the members of this, it's a super group, come from Misery Index, Pig Destroyer, and Cattle Decapitation. Like, it was really, it was hard pressed to put it off my list, because I've listened to it a lot. It's nuts. Like, it is face ripping. We got Gold Star by Imperial Triumphant, Hymns and Dissonance by Whitechapel, Shadowplay by Drutk, Scorched Earth by Harakiri for the Sky, Kadath by The Great Old Ones, Parasomnia by Dream Theater, Rivers of Nile self-titled, Violence Dimension by Conan, Lonely People with Power by Death Heaven, Alunia by Kardashev, Xenotaph by Fallujah, Darskogan Syungar under Inviatans Granar by Vildiarta, Braiding the Stories by Gall's Weird, The Shit of God by Behemoth, Tooth and Nail by Dormant Ordeal, Bellum Regis by Hate, Broken Sword, Rotten Shield by Fool of Hell, Alone in a World of Sounds, Steve Von Till, Eclipsing Worlds of Scorn, Obsidian Tongue, Innerd by Der Vague Einer Freiheit, A Void Within Existence by Abigail Williams. This next one, my opinion entirely shifted on it. It is most disappointing and, in my opinion, worst album of the year, While Bearing Teeth by The Contortionist. This album pissed me off to no fucking end. The album before this was like masterclass music. Return to the Earth, or no, it was, what was it called? Oh damn, I don't remember what it was called. But this was like, they made an acoustic album basically, and I was expecting, like, man, an acoustic album from them. This must, like, they surprise dropped it at like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, all right, I can try acoustic with them. That's a neat idea. No, it was so one-layered and so bland. I think I'd rather just eat mayonnaise out of the jar and listen to it again, to be honest with you. I think it'd be less plain.
Sometimes you just gotta eat some fucking mayo, dude.
Dude, it sucks. Oh god, it sucks so bad. It's so boring. They're like, it's just terrible. Like, it really is so one-dimensional. It's like, it's catchy, but in the same way, like Derek said, in the sense of like Taylor Swift, it's catchy, but it's bad. So it's just like, miserable time. Very miserable album. We got Grizzly by Slaughter to Prevail, The Blue Nowhere by Between the Buried and Me, New Gods, New Masters by Revocation, Private Music by Deftones, Nocturnal Birding by Author and Punisher, Shadow Work by Despised Icon, Rift by Amphisbina, Unself by Conjurer, Viribus Unitus by 1914, Brightest Blasphemy by Chevelle, Mendacium by Evoken, Longing for Triumph, Reeking of Tragedy by Veilburner, Graceless by Fister, Amen by Igor, Ash Spawn by Enthroned, Symptoms 5 by Malady, and Ethereal Horizons by Blue House Nord.
This man just named every album ever released.
Jesus Christ. Honorable mentions, all of the albums that came out in 2025, minus that one that was shit as fuck.
I did notice that none of you had my number one in your honorable mentions, which means we either all have the same number one or you guys are wrong.
I know for a fact I have the same number one as you, and I feel like Derek might have the same number one as you. Oh, never mind then. But I know for a fact I've got the same number one as you.
Yeah,
I already know what you're gonna say because you posted it already. It's a good album.
All right, go ahead, Toby. Tell us.
Yeah, what you got for your number one, bud? And I'm going to go ahead and just get the fucking album pulled up here because I know I've got the same one.
My number one is I Don't Want to See You in Heaven by the Callous Cowboys.
My number one is also I Don't Want to See You in Heaven by the Callous Cowboys.
Damn it!
Typed up before we even started.
Fuck, I had a joke I was going to make before this and I fumbled it. God damn it. I was going to say, I've been sitting here this whole time looking at these beautiful faces, and I realized that I'm sitting in my bedroom. Derek looks like he's sitting in some kind of bedroom, lounge room type deal, and as does Cody. Jacob's just sitting in heaven. Like, he has no background. It's just a blank white fucking background.
Look at him. My hand, like, almost disappears into the light, dude. It's just a window. Anyway, it's just a really big window.
If that's what heaven looks like, I don't want to see you in heaven.
We have a special guest.
That was dumb.
We have a special guest. Is that canon?
Look at that boy.
There's a boy. What a good boy.
A crackhead, so I kicked her out, but...
Yeah, my buddy was not a crackhead. What?
Anyway, what you got?
All right, so I've been sitting here for the entire duration of all of your honorable mentions, trying to figure out where the fuck to start with this, and I just can't. So, but then I remembered that the first track of this album really just kind of lays it all out for you. So, I'm gonna read you some excerpts from the lyrics from the opening track. This opening track isn't a song. It's set up in such a way that it sounds like
it's a narration.
The type of it's a narration that, like, it sounds like the type of shit that you would hear going through like a museum exhibit. But it reads, "The Museum of Failure proudly presents the I Don't Want to See You in Heaven collection, an enigmatic series of 11 pieces created by an unknown group of artists known as the Callous Cowboys. Their true identities are unfortunately lost to time. These pieces were created 300 years ago during the years of 2023 and 2024. We here at the Museum of Failure were lucky enough to have this artifact marked as historically important, and the reel was shipped across border checkpoints. Having now seen the collection in its potential final form, we know that many of these pieces were created by man, weren't just created by man, but by heartbreak, anguish, frustration, infidelity, lust, addiction, divorce, and suffering." So, this album is framed in such a way that this is like a historic piece of music that somehow made its way into a museum exhibit 300 years in the future.
About failure.
And from a musical standpoint, I don't even know what you classify this shit as. I guess it's metalcore. It's like progressive metalcore, but it goes through so many shifts and changes and different moods and different instruments, sometimes all within the same fucking song. It gets ridiculously heavy.
The same part of a song. Like sometimes within like the chorus or something, it does that.
Ridiculously heavy at points. It gets really mellow and dramatic at points. There's like a dance breakdown at some point in one of the songs. There's a fucking nonsensical caveman chant at the beginning of one of the songs. There's a saxophone solo in several different songs. It's wild. The song Body Horror for Birds specifically is almost like a lo-fi kind of jazzy, like something that you might hear in like a fucking smoke lounge. And it's about like heartbreak and fucking infidelity and shit. And it's just such a heartbreaking ass song. And then it comes back in and just hits you in the fucking nuts. I forget what the next song is that follows that, but this album is a fucking roller coaster of emotions, of sounds, of everything. And somehow, in all of this chaos, it creates a really cohesive and really well thought out and well put together album that runs for, fuck, how long is this album? Like an hour? Yeah, 57 minutes. And it caps it all off at the very end with a song called Country Song in Reverse that is 11 minutes long.
Oh.
And it straight up sounds like, it reminds me of the song Iowa by Slipknot. Like it starts out with that very droning, almost horror-esque, creepy synth shit. This album is brilliant. It is a solid 10 out of 10. I mentioned in my number 2 spot when I was talking about Rivers of Nile that I like that album more than an album that I had put in my top 5 albums of all time. This album might actually be my favorite album ever. Like,
God dang.
This might be one of, if not one of my top 3 favorite albums I have ever heard. I listened to this album. Fuck, I screenshotted it. Hang on. I listened to this album 68 times in its entirety, according to my Spotify Wrapped.
God damn.
This is an hour-long album, and I listened to it 68 times. I should have listened to it one more time. I regret that I didn't.
Yeah, you put more time into this album than some people put into like whole ass video games.
Yeah, real.
Anyway, I agree with every point that you've made, other than I don't think it's my favorite album of all time, but it's definitely like deserving of my number 1 spot. And the blending of albums and stuff, I kind of was explaining this to Meg, but people always hype up Sleep Token specifically for like blending genres and like doing this and that with different genres and adding these weird instrumental types to these different things or whatever. And they get a lot of heat for that as well. They get a lot of praise for it, they get a lot of heat for it, but it's mainly from the fucking metalhead elitists that are like, well, it's not even metal at this point, blah, 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 blah. And I don't care about that. I don't care. My point is, whether it's metal or not, they classify themselves as, well, it is classified as metalcore, I'm pretty sure, but like, it really isn't. If you go look and listen to their newest album, it pretty much isn't. but they don't really blend genres. That's why I don't agree with people when they say Sleep Token does this with blending genres, and they do this with blending genres, and they do this with blending that. No, they don't. They've got some pop songs, they've got some metalcore songs, they've got some R&B. Like, they're not blending anything. They're just like doing separate tracks with these things. They're like, every now and then, yeah, you'll get an R&B type song that's got like some heavy drums in it or whatever, or you know what I mean? Like, that's what they do. And sure, whatever, power to you. I'm not the biggest Sleep Token fan, so obviously I'm not the one to be talking about it. But the Calloused Cowboys, specifically this album, I Don't Want to See You in Heaven, does exactly what people praise Sleep Token for, but they do it a million times better, and they actually do it. Like, they actually blend the genres together in ways that I've never heard specifically before. They do it in a way that makes it feel cohesive, a part of this big mess of an album that it is, because it is. It's a giant fucking mess. It's like they literally threw shit at the walls to see what would stick, but it all stuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they threw a bunch of different shit at the wall, and they're like, all right, something's got to stick, and then they realize that, oh, they have no more shit to throw. It's all already sticking to the wall. It fits so well together. It fits perfectly together in this absolute clusterfuck of an album in the best way. And I found myself coming back to this album so many goddamn times. Maybe not 68 times, but definitely came back to it multiple times, or 69 times or whatever. Multiple times I tried to just go back and listen harder to find things that I didn't find before. And I did every single time I came to it. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Where did that come from, dude? But yeah, no, especially once I got these, I've been using these at work a lot, and these help me like hear all the little nuances and stuff that I missed with my little $20 earbuds that I was using before. And it's incredible, dude. It's incredible. It's emotional. It had me thinking about my own personal life many times. It had me relating to stuff that I hadn't been able to relate to in probably 10 years. You know, it had me relating to stuff that I had buried in my fucking past 20 years ago, you know, like stuff like that. This album brought out. And incredible, dude. Incredible, start to finish. No notes. I don't have anything to say negative about it. I have no problems with it. The album artwork is intriguing and weird and kind of creepy at the same time, but also kind of hopeful in a weird way. And it's just, what a fucking banger of an album, dude.
It speaks volumes when an album at one moment can make you reflect on your past and like your personal struggles, and it gets you thinking about shit. And then in the very next song, it opens up with the lyrics, "Ugga ugga boo, ugga boo boo, ugga."
Yeah, exactly. Personal deep shit, dude. I related to that so hard.
But no, you're absolutely right. It, like, the best, like, the word blend is like the best way I can explain this album from every angle. Musically, it's a blend of like 35 different genres. Lyrically, it's a blend of so many different topics. Artistically, it's a blend, like, it's just everything blends together, and it doesn't feel like you described it as a mess. It doesn't feel like a mess in like a negative sense. It feels like it all just fits together. I was thinking about this. I was listening to this album the other day, and I was on that very first track where it's talking, like, it's the narration talking about that these songs were from 300 years ago or whatever, and it found its way into a museum. It almost makes me wonder if this type of shit could end up, like, imagine humanity goes extinct or whatever. Somebody just hits the fucking reset button, and some new primitive humanoid being finds this album. Like,
their heart would stop.
This is the only Like, imagine this album is the only connection to the past that a future generation has. That shit would be fucking nuts.
Hell yeah.
They'd be fucked.
But yeah, I think I heard Derek at the beginning of this say that he hadn't listened to this. Go listen to this fucking album right now. Well, not right now, but like when we get done recording, or I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. I know where you live.
You're not gonna touch me.
I am.
I got something of yours that you want.
Oh yeah?
Do you see that right there? What do you think that is?
I'll beat your ass and I'll take it. I don't give a shit.
Come to my house and find out what's up.
You're sick. You're not in your prime.
No, you know what? No, come to my house.
Cough in his face.
Come to my house.
Cough in his face.
Oh God.
He's gonna fucking sick his 5-year-old on me.
No, if anything, he would just try to talk your head off about fucking Siren Head or whatever. So, yeah, actually, that would be an effective strategy. It would end with you killing yourself because it's
damn.
No,
right, so anyway.
Toby's right though. You need to fucking listen to this album. I don't know why you haven't. I think you actually would like it a lot.
I don't know why I haven't either. Well,
it is an experience.
It just fell through the cracks because, I mean, most of my car ride is just listening to my audio notes for my classes, so I haven't been able to listen to a lot of music.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. I can even see you. I can see you at Walmart while we were working, just like grooving to some of these shits, dude. Just like this. Do one of these numbers and then crying for a second. And then do one of these again. Just, oh yeah, dude. And then crying for a second.
Me. You wouldn't
and
catch
then just
me
do
crying.
one of these. And then going like,
A lot of
Jesus Christ, yeah.
You
a lot
wouldn't
of these
catch me
songs
crying.
a lot of these songs do have very catchy choruses. They're very
Stupid catchy, dude.
it's funny because like I follow this band on Instagram or TikTok or something. They made a post. This band, like the people in this band are so entirely unserious about everything, and it's hilarious. They made a TikTok of like a bunch of random like popular radio metalcore songs. They had like Bad Omens and Sleep Token and like the shit that you would find on Octane.
Yeah.
And it's got like one of the girls from the band that's just like sitting there scrolling through this shit, and then she just clicks off of it and like goes to one of their songs, and it explodes in this really catchy chorus. I think it was Two-Headed Trout. I can't remember what song it was. But the caption of the video is, "It's so easy to not make Octane core."
It's so good, dude. Two-Headed Trout specifically is also just really fucking catchy, dude.
That's probably my favorite song on the album, to be honest.
It's definitely up there. I fuck with it pretty hard.
Anyway, we just knocked out mine and Jacob's number ones, so unless you have anything else to say.
No, that's it. That'll about do it. I mean, no notes. Go listen to I Don't Want to See You in Heaven by the Callous Cowboys.
Do it.
Okay. My number one, it came out of nowhere because this band, they haven't particularly put out like a bad release in my mind, but it's like they have put out a lot of like it exists kind of stuff, but I would never say it was bad. And anything that they'd put out before that I really enjoyed, it was normally an honorable mention, or in my like it'd be like 5 or 4. So when I was actually sitting and breaking this down and figuring out my number one, I was like, wow, this is kind of shocking. But the album was released on September 12th of this year, and it is There Was a Light Here by Demon Hunter. I've been a fan of this band for a while, but they never, in my opinion, put out like a whole, like consistently top to bottom great album. This album is the exception, in my opinion. A lot of the tracks resonated with me. I think it would resonate with really anybody. Like, The Pain in Me Is Gone, My Place in the Dirt, Sorrow Light the Way, I'm Done, Ouroboros. I think I sent something maybe to you guys about Ouroboros. Just absolute fucking nut grabbing fucking banger. And then it ends on, I don't know what kind of note to say it exactly ends on, because obviously some shit has gone down. And to say it's positive, I don't know, especially considering the name of the track is There Was a Light Here. So it's like, yeah, some shit happened, but it's just a nice, peaceful send-off to, like, a sonic assault, basically, because that's the best way to describe the album. And then I did find out that Ryan Clark wrote a bunch of this album for his mom, because she had recently passed away in 2023. So maybe that's why this one hit a little bit different, and definitely hit a little deeper than anything else they've ever put out. The last thing they put out that I paid any attention to was Peace double album, which one album was good or okay, and then the other one was like, what is this? It exists. Yeah, number one, Demon Hunter, There Was a Light Here.
I haven't listened to the album, but I did listen to that title track, and that title track is fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, like like I can't think of the best way to describe it, because it's like some shit went down, but it is just so, it's just big. It's a big fucking, just good way to send the album off. It doesn't go out like some albums, you know, they'll save like for instance, Use Your Illusion 1. It ends with Coma, which is like just a fucking just beating the shit out of you at the end of it. This one's like, yeah, you experienced something here. Here you go. Here you go.
That's you know what? That's a good way to describe that, because that last song really does kind of feel like you're bleeding out under a tree on a snowy mountain.
100% agree.
Lots of.
I actually have a fucking Spotify playlist called Bleeding Out, and it's just a bunch of songs that, like, hypothetically speaking, if I were to bleed out under a tree, I would want these songs to be my last song that I hear. And I'm pretty sure that title, I think There Was a Light Here, is in that it's in that playlist.
Well, check out the rest of the album, especially Ouroboros.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
There it is.
All right. Nice. All right.
And last, but certainly not least.
All right, I've got some words with this one. My number one for this year, and I base this off of a couple different factors. The biggest one being its ability to just fucking make me headbang. Like, I was thinking a lot about my choices this year, and I was like, what brought out the metalhead in me the most? Like, what just resonated with me in a way that nothing else did? If Amenra was like my like sad side, this is definitely my rage. This is definitely like my fury and fire. We're gonna go with Kyama by Soulfly. This shit, holy crap! Like, if you were to tell me the same person who made Beneath the Remains from Sepultura made this album, I would call you a dumb fucking liar. Max Cavalera has kept up with the metal scene for, like, how old is he now? He's like, if not 60, close to 60. This dude's been making heavy metal and is the reason Brazil and South America even have a metal scene for like 40 something years. And like, to keep up with what you created, like, this album is the culmination of that. Like, you get like every single genre of metal ever in this. It is a 33-minute long album. It is short, but like, it is even more claustrophobic and chaotic than Primitive Man's album. like yesterday when I went Christmas shopping, I was with my friend Sierra, and I had her listen to it. And she was like, "This is Sepultura, guys." And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "This is death metal, like to the max. This is death metal." She's like, "This is headbanging as fuck. It is catchy. Like, you have great guests on there. Like we have Dino Cesares and what's the fuck is his name? The vocalist of Unto Others on one of the tracks here, and it's kind of a reminder of." This year was hard for the metal scene because we lost Ozzy. Like our grandfather of our genre is gone. But this album kind of makes me look towards the bright end of it of we still have icons. And our icons are putting out what sounds like the best work of their lives. Like this is without a doubt best Soulfly album ever. I'm even going to say it's some of the best work that Max Cavalera has ever done at all. Like out of 40 years of experience, like this is some of the most intense work. The whole theme of the album, like there's a lot of different themes in it, but like the general idea of the album is colonization, and how many innocents and how many native peoples were slaughtered around the world for European control and gain. Like I've been on this because of this album. I've been on a long obsession with like countries impacted by colonization. And when you think about colonization, a lot of the poverty and hunger and pain in the world is the result of colonization. Like this album made me realize a big step in my life is I want to write a book. Like if I'm not going to have kids, then I need to leave behind a legacy to, leave behind this world when I pass. And I want it to be a trip of 10 years. And when I'm 40 years old, I want to take a month-long expedition into India, because India was dramatically destroyed by British rule. And unlike the Native Americans, which they just fucking brutalized and killed, they subjugated India. India was put under the heaviest taxation you could ever impose on human beings. Before colonization, when they were the Mughal Empire, they comprised 25% of the entire world's economy. When the British were done and they finally left and they gained their independence and like right after World War II, they had been reduced down to 5% of the world's economy, and they were also the most populous country in the world. So like for a heavy album to even invoke this sensationalism within me and this kind of like this justice within me, like we need to do better because like colonization was one of the single most like brutifying and awful fucking moments in history. But like it's just the culmination. It's just hearing the years and years of experience, still having people who have guided us for a long time still kick it with us and still bring us such intense music. Like literally this album has the hardest intro of the year, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Just from the beginning, when it just builds up and it's just dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. It just layers upon itself, and it is just 2 minutes of like getting your face fucked. And there is not a single moment on this album where you're allowed to breathe. Like you can listen to the entire 33 minutes from front to back and not be bored of it one fucking time. Since it came out in mid-October, it has been a daily listen to me every fucking day, including this morning. Like I don't even know, man. I've followed Soulfly for a really long time. They were definitely one of my like formative years bands from being a metalhead. And just to hear them bring forth such an impressive work, like, man, I've been thoroughly impressed with this. Heaviest music they've ever made. The themes behind it resonate very hard. Like you have Storm the Gates, which is about taking back your land. And like the ending of the album sounds like a cry to war. And then you have tracks like it's not one. Hold on. You have tracks like
EP poo poo.
yeah, pee pee poo poo. You have songs like Black Hole Scum, where you literally hear Max Cavalera do do breakdowns, like literal deathcore style breakdowns. The only time you're actually allowed to breathe on this album is Soulfly 13. Every album they have has this instrumental called Soulfly, whatever album, like number it is. And it's just chill. It's like 4 minutes. It's chill as shit. But then the album ends off with the title track called Kyama, and it literally begins with something that you would hear out of Kublai Khan, and it just blows up in your face. This whole album is just a giant explosion in your fucking face from top to bottom. It is wonderful. I think you guys would get a kick out of it. It made me headbang so fucking hard it hurt my neck, and I've been headbanging since I was like 10 years old. It's brutal, dude. And like I said, like, it's just a good reminder that we still have people with us, and that, you know, losing our idols makes us need it. For me, it reminds me that we need to stick together, and that we need to remember that we all are still alive together, and to have one of our, you know, forerunners, one of our godfathers of the genre still press on, as, you know, eventually his time will come too. It's like, this is it. Like, we only have one shot at this, guys, and we got to make it count.
And we don't even get to keep our fucking bodies.
That was an elite reference.
I thought you'd like that. That was a perfect timing, too.
No, that was beautifully said, Cody. I could not agree more.
I also agree.
I
listened to this album as well all the way through, probably 2 or 3 times. It was very good. I did enjoy it quite a bit.
All hail Max Cavalera.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
And rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne.
Facts.
Exactly. We're still kicking, man. And you know, there's been a lot of new guys coming through the scene, and it's like, metal's not dead by any fucking stretch of the imagination.
We're in good hands, for sure.
It's up to us. It's like
Ozzy's definitely pretty proud, I think, of the legacies left behind, and the people that he's left behind to carry on the stuff that he unintentionally even did, you know, back in the fucking 60s and 70s and shit. And obviously he wasn't trying to pioneer a whole fucking genre of generations and generations of genres of stuff, but he did it, and I think he knows that. I think he knew that before he passed, and whether he wanted to admit it or not, I mean, he was that guy. So
yes, and it's a call to arms, like, literally, like, storm the gates. Like he says, all is ruined. It's up to us. Change the course. Get the fuck up. Like, it doesn't have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to be eloquent all the fucking time. Sometimes you just need someone barking in your fucking face, and it's all it's needed here. Like, it did. It just made me headbang so hard. It invoked such fucking violent feelings. Like, what got me into metal in the first place. Like, how ironic that the freaking godfather of Brazilian heavy metal is the one to take it this year. But the OGs pulled through between Soulfly, Behemoth, and fucking Scour. Man, the OGs, when they keep up, they keep the fuck up.
It's still crazy to me that Phil Anselmo is in a fucking death metal band now.
Oh, it's like blackened death metal, dude. He is screaming. He is doing lows. There's a song on that album where he screams for 30 minutes straight. That's literally how the song starts.
God damn.
This man
30 seconds?
30 seconds straight.
30 seconds.
Oh, God. It's like, damn. 30
I was like, that's a long fucking song, dude. Jesus. And he
No.
screamed the whole time?
No. They're like, one of the songs, it literally begins with a cymbal and it just goes, and then it's just a fucking scream for like 30 whole seconds. And it's like, bro, you are 62 years old. How in the fuck can you still do that? This is the same man who played
Couldn't be
to
me.
a crowd of like, this is the same guy who played to a crowd of 1 million in fucking Moscow during the fall of the Soviet Union. That is how old this motherfucker is. And he is doing a 30 minutes or 30-second scream. Like, way to fucking go.
Yeah, power to you, dude. Couldn't be me, man. I ain't got the lung capacity for that shit, but.
No. And then I'm sure a couple, like, you guys were surprised that Behemoth wasn't the top of my list, because that was my most listened to album. And that invoked the kid in me. Like, Behemoth was the first metal band that I got into ever. Like, the beginning of Slave Shall Serve by Behemoth is like the title track to my life. But like, Behemoth, they pulled through with, like, definitely one of their better works, one of their more catchy works. Like, the album before it was kind of like weak. I Loved You at Your Darkest was okay. So to hear them come in strong form, it's like, yeah, they still got it.
God, Behemoth being your first metal band ever, that really explains why you're so fucking diabolical. That explains a lot, actually.
Number 1 by Cody, comma. It's right. It's comma. Chama.
It's hard to say. It's Kiyama.
Kiyama by Soulfly. All right, Derek. Do you have the final numbers?
Yeah.
What do we got?
Okay. Number 5, Rivers of Nile by Rivers of Nile. Number 4, Black Braid 3. Number 3, Soulfly, Kiyama. Hopefully got that one right.
Yeah, you did. You got that right.
Number 2, Demon Hunter, There Was a Light Here. And then number 1, because it was 2 of you, the Callous Dow Boys, I Don't Want to See You in Heaven.
That's what I'm fucking talking about, boys. Hell yeah. It's kind of odd because usually Derek and I are the ones that share number 1s and number 2s. It's kind of weird sharing one with Toby this year.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be right for once?
Fuck you. Nah, dude, this album was phenomenal. It was so good. All of the albums that were mentioned, at least obviously the ones I actually did listen to, which was a good amount of these. Surprisingly, I think I listened to more of the ones that Cody said than I did Derek for some reason this year. I don't know. That's very odd. Usually the stuff that Derek has got on his list, I've at least, sifted through a little of it or listened to them at least one time over or whatever, but surprisingly, I haven't listened to a lot of Derek's list for some reason. That's wild. But that's usually, like I said, that's usually not the case, though. So
it's kind of crazy that, like, I feel like I listened to more new albums this year than I ever have in my fucking life.
Yeah.
But all of you guys had a lot of shit on your lists that I didn't even hear.
Yeah.
Sorry, mine was so long. Y'all know I kind of listened to a lot of things.
Regardless,
we have one thing to elaborate on because we mentioned it, but we didn't get into it, and I think we need to end this shit off on a funny note. I think we need to talk about Magic for a second because that is atrocious.
Magic. Fucking awful. It's doo-doo. It's doo-doo poo-poo shit. And I don't know why the fuck they even bothered. It's not good. And you know what? I know that, like, Avenged Sevenfold just does what Avenged Sevenfold does. Like, I get it. They just do it because they want to, and that's fine. Whatever. Power to them. But for fuck's sake, dude, seeing grown-ass men online saying that this is the best stuff that they've put out in years just blows my fucking mind, dude. I'm just like, are you even listening to the fucking song, dude? Are you even hearing the poop that's being like shot into your eardrum from the left side while it's exiting the right side? Or are you fucking dumb? Like, I just don't get it.
I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial. Maybe not. I don't know. But I know it's like been kind of I've been kind of keeping this joke going for a hot minute about the new Taylor Swift album and how it's the best album ever made or whatever. I'm going to be fully transparent with you guys. I haven't heard it. I haven't listened to a single song on the new Taylor Swift album.
You're lying.
But I would rather listen to the entire Taylor Swift album, start to finish, no breaks, than ever listen to this new Avenged Sevenfold song again. And I'm being so dead-ass serious when I say that.
Yeah,
That's a lot. Because Avenged Sevenfold has been and continues to be one of my favorite bands ever. They were my behemoth. They were one of the first metal bands that I ever got into. And I am an apologist. I feel like I already said this to you guys in a group chat. I will defend the worst fucking shit that Avenged Sevenfold puts out. I'll defend the stage all day long. I'll defend bits and pieces of Life is But a Dream. I found shit to enjoy there. I didn't particularly care for the album as a whole. But I cannot defend anything about this new song at all. It's so fucking bad. It is insulting.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
disgusting.
stupid. Like those vocal synths, I couldn't. I was like, this is dumb. This just and then that artwork. Are we gonna even talk about how stupid that shit is? Why in the fuck is Avenged Sevenfold wearing sombreros? They took way too much D&T when they made Life is But a Dream.
And but it's not good.
It's made worse. It's made worse by the fact that I've seen live videos of them recently where they're playing shows and they sound great. They're playing their old stuff. They put fucking Not Ready to Die, the fucking Easter egg song from Call of the Dead, into their... Good. They put that into their fucking live rotation and they've been playing it live. And it sounds fucking phenomenal. They sound just like they did 10, 15 years ago. So the fact that they're intentionally putting out shit music just pisses me off.
Agreed. Not great.
Understandable.
0 out of 10. Don't recommend it. Don't listen to it. But that's going to be all for us because we are getting to our time limit here. And I got to piss. I think Derek also has been playing the pee-pee dance as well over there. So we got to get going. But I'm also starving and I want to go eat. So
Me too.
It's been fun, guys. That is going to wrap it up for the top 5 albums of 2025. Let us know down in the comments below what your top 5 albums of the year were. And if any of you guys say Sleep Token, get out. I'm just kidding. To each their own. If you enjoyed the songs off of Sleep Token's new album, power to you. Don't care. That's great. Let us know down in the comments below. And,
Sleep Token's new album was the most highly sold rock album of the year, so there's a lot of people that think that's like the best album of the year.
Have you seen the state of our country lately? There's a lot of brain dead idiots running around. Anyway,
I didn't think it was that bad. It was all right.
It was pretty fucking mid, and
every song had the exact same fucking progression through it. Start off light, and then just every single one. Exact same.
The previous album was like a landslide better, and it still was like
shitty.
It's all right. I mean, it was okay, but this one not great. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me on today's episode and this year's episode of the top 5 albums of the year. We will see you next time. Make sure you hit us up on our other videos if you like what you see here, and like and subscribe and all that good shit. We'll see you next time. Peace.